Good evening, everyone. My name is Zachary Hall, otherwise known as the Arkansas Storm Tracker, and welcome to the Arkansas Weather Network YouTube channel. I'm joined by meteorologist Blaze Thomas, along with producer Frankie Shepard. We do have a tornado warning in Arkansas that we need to discuss with you. This is in southwest Arkansas. It includes Sevier County. And yes, it is only a small sliver, but it's one of those things that we have to go live for. We can't really ignore it. This storm is moving out of Oklahoma. It's near Broken Bow, Oklahoma, as you can see here. I'll circle that for you. Broken Bow, Oklahoma is here. The circulation is here, and this is moving off to the east-northeast and will likely move into extreme southern sections of Polk County. There's not a warning for that at this time. And then, of course, northern sections of Sevier County, just north of DeQueen. Blaze, we've got quite a few storms on the board tonight. This is our first tornado warning, but we do have another tornado warning as well south of Fort Smith that we probably should discuss as well.
Yeah, we're starting to see this line starting to spin a little bit, and that's a concern that we thought about, looking at latest trends and stuff. So we're going to have to be watching this close. That's why I have a way of getting warnings. If you're up late tonight, you can sleep, that's fine, but please have a way of getting warnings because we are expecting more warnings as this line continues to move through. We're seeing several areas on this line that have tried to rotate over the last several scans. And again, we've got 2 tornado warnings, technically one for Arkansas. So we're here. We're going to continue to monitor it. And so, yeah.
So just to kind of reset everybody, if you're just now joining us, we have 2 tornado warnings on the board. Okay, we have one southwest of Fort Smith in Oklahoma still. This is not in Arkansas. And then we have another one south of Mena that it's warning for Sevier County. It does not include Polk County at this time, but it could in the future. I know if you're watching this and you live in northwest Arkansas, you're probably thinking, my lord, the sky is falling, because quite literally it is. There's lots of rain, thunder, stronger thunderstorms. There are no tornado warnings or severe thunderstorm warnings in northwest Arkansas as of 12:44 a.m. The reason we are live with you tonight is because of the tornado warnings, specifically the one in southwest Arkansas, and we're watching the storm southwest of Fort Smith very closely. If you live in the city limits of Fort Smith, Blaze, we can go ahead and just go in there and look at that, can't we?
Yeah.
Not trying to ignore anyone in southwest Arkansas, but of course we have lots of people who follow from Fort Smith, Greenwood, Van Buren. This storm to your southwest is still in Oklahoma, west of Poto, right here. And this is moving off to the east-northeast, into the general vicinity of Fort Smith, Van Buren. I think it misses southern Sebastian County. But like we said earlier, this does not include Arkansas at this time, and that's why we didn't go live for it earlier. Our focus for now is on the storm that's moving into southwest Arkansas, eventually Polk County and Sevier County.
I will say there is, guys, several, other storms we're watching across the state. Some of these do have some hail developing. And so that's going to be kind of a primary threat tonight that we're going to be watching. But not only that, we do have the potential for, a couple tornadoes. So that's why we're watching this very closely. I do want to say, looking at rotation overall on this current tornado warned storm, Zach, it doesn't look all that strong right now. So that's good news, but it can strengthen. And again, technically, looks like we've got a new warning. We're going to have a new tornado warning coming for part of Arkansas.
Is it for this one or is it for the Fort Smith area?
Actually, it looks like they're just continuing
Okay.
the tornado warning.
Folks, the rotation involved here, it just updated on me. I'll recircle it. The circulation involved is right here. This general area there, just north of Broken Bow. If you live in, I know that there's not a warning for Wicks or Grannis yet in Polk County. Blaze, is that what they're expanding? Is Little Rock expanding it to that?
No, they're just continuing it. That's
Okay.
all it was.
Folks, if you live in Wicks or Grannis in southern Polk County, wouldn't judge you one bit if you started assuming your tornado precautions just in case here. I know that you're not under a tornado warning yet, and we don't have the authority to issue that, but I'm just telling you that there's rotation to your southwest moving east-northeast. And then if you live in northern Sevier County, you are under a tornado warning. So, Blaze, we can go down and get a little close on this.
We can. Not only that, also want to state the fact that just looking overall at this warning, it says that severe thunderstorms capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight line wind damage are located 9 miles north of Broken Bow. So not only do we have a tornado threat with the storm, guys, but we also have a damaging wind threat too. So it's kind of one of those, they issued it because of the rotation, yes, but there's also a damaging wind threat on top of this. So it's kind of a double threat here.
Yeah, if you live in Mineral, if you live in Gillum, off Highway 59 along the Polk and Sevier County line, this warning is for you. That's two of the larger communities that are populating on our map for this tornado warning. Folks, we also, too, just to kind of zoom out for a second, we're getting a lot of comments from people in Northwest Arkansas, and I know that it's noisy outside and it might seem scary, but it's just general thunderstorms right now. There's no tornado warnings, no severe thunderstorm warnings. We do have a tornado warning southwest of Fort Smith in Oklahoma. We're watching that closely, but no other warnings in the state as of 12:47 a.m. This is our only tornado warning here in Sevier County. It does not include Polk County at this time, but I would imagine that there's a possibility that that happens if the rotation persists here, Blaze.
Yeah, I think so. I'm just kind of seeing what the National Weather Service is doing. Just looking at overall, just like Zach was saying, yes, there's strong thunderstorms across Northwest Arkansas, but we're not seeing anything that would indicate severe weather right now. Nothing that's at the severe criteria, so that's good news. There is a few areas that I'm watching because the potential for a quick spin-up tornado on this line is there, and so that's something we have to watch. But at this point, I don't see any indications of it right now. So
yeah, folks, the rotation that's moving towards Sevier County and eventually Polk County, it's not overly strong. I can't say for sure. Blaze, I'm guessing this is just a Doppler radar tornado.
Radar
We don't have any confirmation there's a tornado on the ground headed for Wicks, Grannis, Gillum, or anything like that. But we have to treat it seriously. So the rotation itself is in here, and it's moving off to the east-northeast. It will soon be at the state line. These storms are moving pretty quick, so it won't be too long before that makes it into Arkansas. Let me switch back over.
Yeah, I will say, just looking at this line overall, we were tracking this earlier, and it kind of they started canceling those severe thunderstorm warnings, and then now we're starting to see tornado warnings issued because the line itself is tapping into a little bit more shear environment, which if you don't know what that means, guys, that's basically just spin. And so what's happening is some of these thunderstorms that were fairly strong is able to get stronger and now are starting to rotate. We're also seeing some isolated cells too, which again, Zach, we both know isolated cells with a setup like we've got tonight, that is a no-no because that can tap into this environment and start to spin a little bit more.
Guys are getting a lot of questions from people asking, can fill in the blank, name any city, community, town in Arkansas. Can we go to sleep? Folks, go to sleep. We're going to be up all night watching this. If you get a warning on your phone and it wakes you up, you can hop back on and watch and get informed, but you don't have to stay awake all night killing yourself trying to watch this when we're going to be doing it for you. Getting a lot of questions too about the Fort Smith area. I know that there's likely some thunder around, the tornado warning to your southwest. In Oklahoma still. This is a nasty storm, folks. If you live in Fort Smith, Van Buren, I certainly don't blame you for being a little concerned. We're going to watch that closely. It's still in Oklahoma. It will be, I don't know, Blaze, what do you think? 30 minutes? Fort Smith and Van Buren, somewhere in there, 30, 45 minutes. So, but the reason why we're live is because of the tornado warning in Sevier County. I don't want Sevier County to feel like we're ignoring them.
Yeah, storm's moving at about 45 miles per hour. Again, we want to reiterate the fact that these warnings right here, guys, are radar indicator warnings, which does not mean we have a tornado on the ground. We don't know. There could be one on the ground. We just don't know. But at this point, there's not enough being detected on radar right now to confirm anything. But again, it's nighttime. It's going to be hard to see this.
Yeah.
And so you're going to have to rely on lightning to see it. And so a lot of times we start getting updates of tornado damage after the fact because it is nighttime, so it's really tricky to see.
Yeah, so this is going to be in Bog Springs, 1:29 a.m., Grannis around 1:33 a.m., Wicks 1:37. Just to kind of give you guys some examples there in southern Polk County, Gillum Lake around 1:48 a.m. This thing is moving. I don't know. It's not moving incredibly fast, but it's certainly moving. Some of those ETAs, Blaze, may be a little delayed. I don't know. I feel like this storm's moving pretty quick, but just to, for those of you who are just now joining, we have a tornado warning currently for Sevier County. That is the reason why we are live at this time. And it does not include southern Polk County. We're just referencing Polk County because of the storm's, eventual path.
Yeah, I will say, just looking at overall the rotation that was to the north of Broken Bow, which prompted the warning, You see that rotation very well defined when they first initiated that warning. But now, as we look, the latest scan, it looks less impressive right now.
Yeah,
So that's great news. Could
yeah.
be cycling, but I have reason to believe that this, if there was a tornado that dropped down, it was quick and it was probably a QLCS.
So we'll also look at the rotation here. This looks a little bit more messy as well compared to what it looked like earlier. Not to say that there's no rotation here, but going back even 15 minutes, Blaze, this is the tornado warning southwest of Fort Smith, folks. The rotation was quite strong. I felt like they're just north of Red Oak. You could see that circulation there just north of Red Oak. But this storm itself is on the strong end, so we'll have to watch that real close as this moves off to Fort Smith and Van Buren here over the next 30 or 45 minutes. Let's see if we can get an ETA.
One area, Zach, that I think I'm kind of eyeing a little bit. I don't see any broad rotation, but just the structure of it. It is in Oklahoma, though. It's just south of Stony Point, but which is technically going to be to the northwest of Fort Smith. But
Okay.
it's just right there by Salisaw. It's right ahead of the line, and so that's
Okay.
something we're going to have to watch, guys.
Okay. Zooming in on northwest Arkansas too, folks. I know it's noisy. Some of you are getting probably some good rainfall. No tornado warnings, no severe thunderstorm warnings, no concerns. I feel like the tornado risk in northwest Arkansas right now is very, very low. I can't tell you it's zero, but it's certainly not high. Blaze, this looks like it's falling apart. The tornado warning.
Yeah.
Great news. I just don't see a whole lot here. They've shaved the warning down quite a bit too. This still includes northern Sevier County. It does not include Polk County. This is why we're live at this time at 12:53 a.m. My name is Zachary Hall, otherwise known as the Arkansas Storm Tracker. I'm joined by meteorologist Blaze Thomas and producer Frankie Shepard here on the Arkansas Weather Network. We're live for the tornado warning that's in northern Sevier County and doesn't include Polk, but we're watching Polk as well. And then we also have another tornado warning. I hear thunder at my house, Blaze. Storm's getting close. We also have another tornado warning here that's just southwest of Fort Smith in Oklahoma. We don't cover Oklahoma, but unfortunately, when storms are being cranky in Oklahoma and they're close to Arkansas, we have to kind of reference it as well. Blaze, also watching that storm north of Fort Smith over Cedarville. Boy, Cedarville and Mountain Burger, these are nasty little storms here. It looks like they've just formed in the last probably 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah, that one could be working its way to get a severe thunderstorm warning. I'm seeing, looking at radar, close to 1 inch hail with that storm. So
Okay.
that's a good catch. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a warning on that. See, it's one thing to have a line, guys, because a line of thunderstorms moving through, you would have the potential to see a quick spin up tornado. When you have isolated cells like we're talking about just to the north of Fort Smith, we've got to watch, because if they tap into the environment, there's an environment out there that is supportive of tornadoes tonight. That's why that risk is low. It's not a high risk, but it's low. But if storms can isolate themselves, tap into that environment, they would have the potential to rotate. And that's what we got to watch for.
Someone asked about the instability in northwest Arkansas. The instability is not as high in northwest Arkansas as it is near Fort Smith, maybe over to Russellville, kind of west central Arkansas. We were discussing this before we went live. We felt like it was more unstable closer to the Fort Smith area. So maybe the reason why northwest Arkansas isn't observing severe weather at this time, just general thunderstorms. And while south of Fort Smith, these storms seem to be acting up a little bit more. They're stronger, producing tornado warnings.
Yeah, you've got high Cape value, also known as instability, guys. Like Zach was saying, right around the Fort Smith area, and then less as you go to northwest Arkansas, and less in southern Arkansas too. But still, it's enough to support severe weather, and that's why we're going to be here to keep an eye on it.
Brooke is asking about the storms moving through the northwest half of the state. Yeah, this is the line moving through northwest Arkansas now that we've been referencing. It hasn't. I see your question, Brooke, saying has it moved through? It's moving through now. So Sky's asking, is this going to hit Greenwood? We do have storms to the southwest that are likely going to move through Greenwood here over the next hour or so. Yeah.
Hey Zach,
What?
they went ahead and canceled that tornado warning that was out in Oklahoma, but still continuing that one down there.
Okay, so they canceled the one southwest of Fort Smith.
Yes.
Good. Okay, so great news, guys. If you live in Fort Smith, Van Buren, Alma, Cedarville, The tornado warning that was to your southwest is being canceled, so that's great news for the future. We are still technically live, though, for this tornado warning in Sevier County. In northern Sevier County, I'm not too awful impressed with this.
Yeah, I think
We'll
we
see.
could have another warning. I'm not saying we will, but just to the north of Salisaw, seeing a little indication of a quick spin up.
Okay.
You can see a little bit of broad rotation there. Again, these warnings tonight, because they're embedded with this line, they're going to be quick. So it's something, guys, if we see this on radar, we're kind of giving you a heads up now. We can't issue tornado warnings, but the National Weather Service can, and they're keeping an eye on these storms. But I would not be surprised if just to the south of Stony Point, up around Salisaw, we get a warning. If we do, it's probably going to include a portion of Arkansas.
Yes, I agree. Some of these winds that are moving to southern Polk County, although I don't know if a tornado is ongoing, could be strong, Blaze. I'm interested to see what happens with this as it moves into Polk County and, of course, northern Sevier County as well, where that tornado warning exists. Just going to kind of change gears for a second. I do want to go up. I know the tornado warning was canceled or is going to be canceled soon. Still getting a lot of questions about people in Northwest Arkansas. Maybe you're just now joining and didn't hear what we were talking about earlier. Folks, if you live in Northwest Arkansas, that means Fayetteville, Rogers, Bentonville, Springdale, Johnson, Lowell. I know it's noisy outside. I know it's raining cats and dogs, but guys, it's just thunderstorms. No tornado warnings at this time. No severe thunderstorm warnings. Fort Smith, I know you're starting to hear thunder. I live in Greenwood, and I can hear the thunder here, so I know that you guys can certainly hear the thunder. We do have some pretty nasty storms to the southwest that are moving in soon. Someone, Blaze, commented a moment ago about Cedarville and said that it is nasty in Cedarville right now, and I can see why. That's rough.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get a warning on that, honestly. I mean, that's okay. All right, we got a new tornado warning. It does not include Arkansas, though, but it is now near the Fort Smith area.
Yeah, this is close enough. It's right on the border. So, folks, we got a new tornado warning, and this does not include Arkansas yet, but it does include the state line. And I know that people watch who live in Arcoma area, maybe in Dora, just west of Fort Smith, right across the state line, and this does include you. I don't cover Oklahoma, so forgive me, but places like Panama, Shady Point, Spiro, and Muldrow. I'm from this area, so I'm familiar, and I know that some of you are likely familiar with that as well. You certainly need to be taking your tornado precautions at this time. Fort Smith and Van Buren, maybe even areas just north of Van Buren, I certainly wouldn't judge you if you did as well. But as of this time, Blaze, Fort Smith and Van Buren aren't in the polygon, so it's close. But
it is very close. Seeing very broad rotation. Someone asking about the Cedarville storm earlier. Seeing broad rotation over there. That storm is really getting its act together. I'm showing over 1 inch hail core. I would suspect we're going to see a severe thunderstorm warning coming for that storm very soon. Probably going to include the Mountainburg area.
Yeah, Mountainburg, maybe up to Winslow in southern Washington County. Good call, Blaze. So it looks like they canceled the first warning, like you said, and then expanded the other warning. And folks, we still have a tornado warning in northern Sevier County. I certainly don't want to forget our friends in southwest Arkansas. If you're watching this and you live in that area.
All right. I think we got a warning.
Okay.
I believe we just got a warning coming through.
All right. Let's wait and get that information. I'm going to look at some comments. Folks.
Yep.
Getting a lot of questions from people who live in western Arkansas, rightfully so. You're likely under a tornado watch. Blaze, I see that severe thunderstorm. Let's discuss that real quick.
All right.
We have a new severe thunderstorm warning that includes northern sections of Crawford County, so north of Cedarville, northwest of Mountainburg, and southern Washington County. You can see the yellow polygon here, southern Washington and northern Crawford. This does not include the city of Fayetteville, West Fork, Prairie Grove. Fairly rural area, Blaze. There in northwestern Crawford and southwestern Washington County. What's the warning for, Blaze?
It's going to be for wind, I assume.
Okay. Wind. So strong wind, guys.
60 mile per hour wind gust, radar indicated. Not seeing anything about tornado possible, guys, so that's great news.
Yeah, good news.
But I really would not be surprised if we get a warning pretty soon on the Cedarville storm. I mean, it's getting its act together, and I know it's producing wind.
Folks, the tornado warning in Sevier County has been canceled, so we have no active tornado warnings in Arkansas as of 1:01 a.m. Close enough. if we're being honest here, we can just go ahead and kind of box these two warnings on the screen and talk about them. We do have a tornado warning in parts of LaFleur and Sequoia County, Oklahoma, Muldrow, Spiro, Panama, areas just west of Fort Smith, Arcoma area. Obviously, if you're watching this and you live in Oklahoma, thank you for watching the Arkansas Weather Network. We know that we don't technically cover Oklahoma, but we're right across the state line here, and this is going to eventually impact Arkansas. Blaze, I guess we can go and look at some rotation on this and see what it looks like. Yeah, I certainly see it there near Bocoshi, I'm guessing, is what they've got warned for.
Yeah.
Let me look at this real quick. Folks, if you're in Fort Smith and you're in Van Buren, I have no idea. I don't know if the sirens are going off in town. I would hope not, given that Fort Smith's not included, but if they are, excuse me, please know that this is likely to impact the western. If it did impact Fort Smith, it would be on the western side of town as it moves off to the east-northeast.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look. Again, really, honestly, Zach, the strongest storm we're tracking right now that is impacting Arkansas as we speak is probably going to be the Cedarville storm. One thing I'm noticing about the Cedarville storm, okay, we've got a new severe thunderstorm warning. It's going
to be that one,
and it
right?
may be on that Cedarville storm.
Yeah.
I bet it is.
I've been waiting on that one for a minute.
Yep, it is.
Okay. So, folks, he's talking about this storm right here. We've been watching this storm for a while now. It's, excuse me, it's been acting up for quite a while. We've had a few reports from Cedarville stating that it's pretty nasty storm. Oh, there's that severe thunderstorm warning on that now. So
the concern I have, Zach, is you see that little tail that it's got at the very edge?
Yes, I do.
I
Need to watch
just
that for
wonder if
tornado
that's
potential.
going to... Yeah, that's a little concerning.
Folks, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning that includes parts of extreme northern Franklin County. This includes Crawford County. It includes Washington County, and it includes southwestern Madison County, and this is for stronger wind gusts, 60-mile-an-hour winds, and large hail. This storm will likely impact areas around and north of Mountainburg, I-49, possibly even Winslow. And then I'm getting, Blaze, a lot of comments from people saying that the sirens are going off in Fort Smith. Folks, as far as I know, Fort Smith's not included in this warning, Blaze.
No, they're not.
I mean, our system is registering Crawford as being in, and I guess it's registering Sebastian too, a sliver of it. So, guys, if you live in Fort Smith, excuse me, I'm so sorry, I haven't been feeling well this week. If you live in the northern half of Fort Smith, close to downtown, close to Van Buren, that side of Fort Smith, we are not going to judge you one bit if you would like to go ahead and shelter in case the storm wobbles to the east. But Blaze, I feel like this is going to likely stay west of town for the most part.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Maybe somebody made a good point. Jessica Decker said, I think it's Arcoma. Maybe they're hearing the sirens in Arcoma, which is included in the warning. Arcoma's right here. Parts of Arcoma is included in that. So maybe that's why people are hearing them. That's
Yeah.
right on the state line, Blaze.
That is a possibility. Because, I mean, tornado sirens are loud, but they're not, they're good. But if you're inside, that's not their intent. So, and a lot of people think that is,
Yeah.
we're going to be warned by tornado sirens. No, you need to be warned by your phone because everybody has a cell phone. So someone asked, is this storm going to go north of Greenwood and South Fort Smith? The tornado warning part of the storm likely is, but it's going to storm in South Fort Smith and Greenwood here in the next 30 minutes. Just not anticipating at this time. There's no tornado warning for you in those areas. Blaze, the most concerning storm on the board as far as in Arkansas only is the storm in Crawford County. This one. Yeah. Yep, definitely. That's the one where, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Looking at what I'm seeing on the latest radar scan, Zach, I think this storm is getting stronger. I think the updraft's getting stronger on it.
Which one? The Crawford County one?
Yeah, the Cedarville storm. I don't see any rotation right now, guys, but given that it's kind of isolated, we need to watch this because I think this could be one of those that we definitely, it could do something. I don't see it producing a tornado right now because, again, there's no rotation, but I wouldn't be surprised if this starts to wrap up.
Please give me just 1 second. I'm feeding some data here.
You're good. No worries. Again, just want to kind of reiterate the fact we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in Arkansas at this time. One of those warnings, though, is actually for a storm that is out in Oklahoma that's not in Arkansas yet, but will be moving towards Arkansas. And then we've got this 1 severe thunderstorm warning that we've been tracking up around the Cedarville area. So sorry, took control.
No, you're good. I was just zooming out to show region-wide kind of what we're looking at here.
Gotcha.
We have 3 storms that we're really watching right now. If you're watching in Northwest Arkansas and Rogers, Springdale, Fayetteville, I know it's noisy, but the worst of this is to your south. If you live in Fort Smith right now, some people are saying the sirens are going off in Fort Smith. Others are saying they're not. It could be the Oklahoma sirens that you're able to hear. There is a tornado warning for places like Spiro, Muldrow, Dora, Arcoma. We have a very strong thunderstorm right now in Crawford County that we are watching very closely. It's got a lot of lightning, perhaps some hail and strong winds moving northeast away from Cedarville to the I-49 corridor north of Mountainburg, eventually possibly West Fork, Elkins, and southwestern Madison County. And then Blaze, a storm I don't feel like we've talked about a whole lot is this other storm in Oklahoma that's moving into southwestern Washington and northwestern Crawford County. Busy right now.
Yeah.
For a few storms. So
yeah, that one looks pretty strong. Somebody asking it, do we have a tornado on the ground? I'm not seeing any confirmation of that. Does not mean it's not on the ground, but here's the thing, guys. With it being nighttime, we're going to have to rely on lightning to see it. And so it's going to be delayed, probably reporting. I don't know if there's any storm chasers out there right now. So it's very possible, can't rule it out. That's why you need to take your precautionary action. But we don't have any confirmation that it's on the ground at this time. I don't see anything from NWS advising that. So that's good news. So,
folks, just to kind of reset for everyone, my name is Zachary Hall, otherwise known as the Arkansas Storm Tracker. I'm joined by meteorologist Blaze Thomas, along with producer Frankie Shepard here on the Arkansas Weather Network. We're monitoring storms in western Arkansas. Some are strong to severe. These storms will continue east tonight and into early Wednesday morning, central and eastern Arkansas. And that is its own entity tomorrow with another lower risk of severe weather, maybe a few strong storms, kind of like we're dealing with tonight. But for now, tonight, as of 1:09 a.m., the focus is across western Arkansas. Not a whole lot going in southwest Arkansas, Blaze. It looks like for the moment, this is all kind of just west central Arkansas.
Well, and the National Weather Service in Little Rock is advising that the Polk County storm has weakened considerably. So that's good news.
Good. Crystal, hopefully that answered your question. These storms are not impacting eastern Arkansas anytime soon. That will be well into tomorrow morning at the earliest, before this makes it to you on the other side of the state. We do have the tornado warning here that I know a lot of people who live local to Fort Smith, maybe even in eastern Oklahoma, are very concerned about, rightfully so. If you live in Spiro, Fort Coffee, Gans, Dora, Arcoma, Muldrow, just west of Fort Smith, really, you should certainly be in your storm shelter. This does not include the city of Fort Smith and Van Buren at this time as of 1:09 a.m. Blaze, our Cedarville storm, which I guess it's moving away from Cedarville now, looks like it could have some hail in it. I'm not real sure how big, but certainly some potential there.
Yeah, looking at the Spiro storm, overall, guys, the rotation is pretty weak. So that's good news. But it is enough to continue with the tornado warning.
He's talking about this storm right here, guys. That's the storm Blaze is talking about.
Now, which storm were you talking about, Zach, just a second ago?
Our Cedarville storm, it's moving away from Cedarville, but it looks like there's at least some potential for these 2 storms here near Mountainburg now to have at least a little bit of hail in it. I'm not sure how large the hail is, but
yeah,
certainly some
I agree with you.
Strong winds.
I think, just southeast of Winslow, that secondary storm looks like it's starting to build a hail core too, like you were saying.
Yeah.
So
no, there's not Chris. There's not a tornado going through Fort Smith at this time. No, the tornado warning does not include the city of Fort Smith as of right now.
Could always change, but
could always change, but yeah, not right now.
I don't. Looking at rotation wise, to me it just looks pretty weak. So that's good news.
Yeah, this does not. I'm gonna trust the National Weather Service in Tulsa and transmit the message that they're requesting, but looking at this from a broad view, from reflectivity and the velocity, I just don't see something that screams significant tornado. I mean, there's certainly something here. It's rotating. It has rotated mildly for a while now, broad rotation. So I understand keeping the warning up, and we'll see if they continue it into Arkansas. We'll cover it as needed. But
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking down the overall line of thunderstorms that we have, and there's some storms that look a little bit on the stronger side. Um, but really, Zach, I mean, the strongest storms we're tracking right now has to be the Cedarville storm and then the one
yeah,
by Mountainburg. So that's kind of our zone right now.
yeah,
Those two storms,
yeah,
yeah,
folks.
they're
The greatest instability right now to produce severe thunderstorms is in west central Arkansas, Greenwood, Clarksville, Fort Smith, Russellville, Van Buren, kind of this area right here in general, from Fayetteville south. I would say down to Mena as well, even though these storms seem to be struggling. Northwest Arkansas, if you're watching in Rogers and Bella Vista and Bentonville and areas north of Fayetteville,
we're gonna
those
have a
storm
new tornado warning.
okay,
It's
those
going to
storms just
be
aren't producing a whole lot right now.
Howard and Hempstead County. Yep,
Okay, so we
right
have a new
there,
tornado
just
warning.
north of Ashdown.
Blaze, we're going to get pretty busy here for a second, so we're going to have to make sure we hop back and forth. All right. So
Yeah.
we have a new tornado warning. This is in southwest Arkansas for Howard County, parts of Hempstead County, and Little River County. We can go ahead and zoom in here pretty close here. If you live in the town of Dirks, everyone has heard about Dirks because of that stadium renovation. Locksburg, Nashville. I don't think this totally includes the city of Mineral Springs, but Horatio and Foreman. So if you live in southwest Arkansas, especially in these areas, I'm sure you're very familiar with what we're talking about here. Blaze, do you have any reports on this or anything?
No, nothing. If you want to stay on that storm, I've got radar pulled up on another screen. I'm gonna stay on Fort Smith right now. Just kind of
Okay.
look at these different storms here.
So
We'll just kind of bounce back and forth, guys.
So what we have here, folks, this is the rotation here. It just crossed over the state line out of Oklahoma, and this is moving off to the east-northeast. We could put a track on that, Blaze, and probably get some good stuff here. Let's see. So here's our rotation.
That rotation's pretty strong right
It is
there.
pretty strong. We'll just take it to the end of the polygon. Folks, I'm going to name off all sorts of stuff that you locals likely are familiar with. Winthrop at 1:20 a.m., Dilworth at 1:34, Stringtown, Penny's, Milrose, and Belleville in that 1:34 to 1:38 a.m. range. And we can go all the way down to Blue Bayou, Lebanon, or Atwood from 1:53 to that 1:56 a.m. time frame. That might be a little delayed. This storm might be moving a little bit faster than what that's portraying. I'm just trying to give you a general reference if you live in those areas.
I'm just looking again. We've got that tornado warning in southern Arkansas. Still watching 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in Arkansas right now. Pretty strong storm just to the west of Chester, and then also one just to the east of Winslow. Both of those have some hail, so anyone in those areas, be mindful that there's going to be hail moving through the area. I do want to bring attention, though, as well, this tornado warning, that it does not include Fort Smith, but is to the west of Fort Smith, does appear to have more rotation to it.
Okay.
So
Fort Smith storm?
just looking at the latest trends, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a warning for Arkansas here in just a little bit if it continues.
Okay, let's switch back to the Fort Smith radar and just kind of reset here for those of you who are just now joining. We have a tornado warning in southwest Arkansas. You can see that polygon at the bottom of your screen here. Little River County, Howard County, parts of Hempstead County. And then we also have a tornado warning that's close to Fort Smith. It's still in Oklahoma. We're watching that real close. And then we have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings too in parts of Crawford, Washington, Madison counties, and extreme northern Franklin County. And those are, Blaze, this storm that we've been watching for a while is about to cross 49, and there's a good chance that this might have some hail in it. You can see that hail core here. Not so sure if that's just really heavy rain or possibly some large hail. So if you're driving on I-49 and you're listening to us, or if you know someone who's driving, you might give them a call and let them know that just north of Mountainburg, it could get a little bit nasty here in the next 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, there's a few areas, Zach, on this leading edge of the line, south of Mena. They warned this one just to the north of Foreman, but there's a couple areas. It's very broad, but just overall, it's a little hard to see it though. I'm looking at it from the Fort Smith radar site, but there's a little bit of broad rotation, maybe just to the south of Hatfield. Again, very broad, not enough to issue a tornado warning, but it does look like these storms are starting to rotate more. and that's something we expect because of the atmosphere and really seeing that low-level jet kicking in right now.
I'm going to get a little bit. I want our people here in Southwest Arkansas to be aware of what's coming. The circulation here is likely just north of the city limits of Foreman. And I mean, guys, we can zoom in really tight here. Aileen, this is east of Arkinda. Winthrop, there's a small community of Winthrop. I've been through this area before. It's likely right over the top of you by now. This is around 1:17 in the morning. Next up is the community of Pennies. There's a very large bug flying by me. Highway 59 going up to Locksburg. You're likely next on this. That does include the 59 and 371 interchange. As far east as Nashville is included, this might stay just north of you, but certainly wouldn't risk it. And even up to Dirks, 278 between Nashville and Dirks. This is headed your way in the next 25 to 30 minutes, so you need to be sheltered if you live in these areas.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking at radar overall. Not many changes with what we're thinking, guys, right now. The thing that's getting a little bit tricky is these storms are close to that radar site, especially the Fort Smith one. So it's going to make the scans a little bit iffy to see, guys. We'll have to. I'm kind of going up on tilts a little bit, but overall, still looks pretty strong. I do think there's maybe a little bit of hail developing just to the south of Fort Coffee.
Look at this. Look at this hook here. This hook in the middle of the storm.
Yeah.
There's something there. If you live in Muldrow or Roland, you should have been sheltered 25 minutes ago, but you're running out of time. I think this is going to miss Fort Smith. It appears that the worst of this is going to pass north of Fort Smith as it moves into Arkansas. Folks, if you live in Cedarville, if you live near Cedarville, in that area, in Crawford County, south central Crawford County, this storm is headed your way. Blaze, there might be a few areas of rotation in this storm.
Yeah, there is. Just kind of overall, just there's some areas that is concerning. I do want to bring attention to this storm that's just to the west of Chester. It looks like it's getting stronger now. I wouldn't be surprised if Chester experiences over 1 inch hail, according to this. Something we got to watch.
Yeah, Artist Point, Mount Gaylor, Winfrey, Shaberg, Banyard, areas of, Winslow and south, and maybe even as far south as Maddox Springs could experience that hail. But the worst of it just passed over 49, so hopefully nobody drove into that tonight.
If we look back to this storm in southern Arkansas that is tornado warned, just looking at the rotation overall, guys, still got rotation there. It may not be as strong as the first initial scans, but we're still seeing that rotation. So, Zach, if you want to tell them kind of some areas that's going to be impacted, but really,
sorry, I'm being attacked by bugs.
Oh, you're good.
Ugh.
It's the humidity out there.
Yeah. Yeah, this storm in southwest Arkansas is certainly concerning. The rotation itself, it doesn't look just incredibly strong, but judging by what we've seen with this storm, I would take it very serious. If you live in, we've talked about it, a few times here, but if you live in Little River County, if you live in Sevier County's already been under a tornado warning tonight. If you live in Howard County, there's a small sliver of Hempstead that this might miss, but you're still technically under a warning. You need to take it serious. But this is going to continue moving off to the east-northeast. The 59 route, the 278 route between Nashville and Dirks. So certainly want everyone to be taking this very serious. I know it's late at night. Some of you are probably being woke up by your warnings on your phone. It's time to take shelter if you live in this area.
Zach, one area that I'm starting to see, just to the south of Lee Creek Natural Dam, right around Uniontown.
Yep.
Yeah, starting to see some broad rotation on the leading edge of this. It's just going to be just to the north of Cedarville. It's not enough to issue a warning, but I'll be honest, guys, it is starting to rotate a little bit.
Okay. Little kink in the line there. I see what you're saying.
Yep.
It does look like, judging by this right here, I guess we can sample it real quick, Blaze. That's some pretty strong winds there just south of Fort Smith. 63 mile, and obviously this could be a radar malfunction. That's kind of a blank spot there, but I'm guessing it's fair to say that these storms that are moving into the Fort Smith area, even if there's no tornado warning, could be nasty, could be strong. Blaze, I'm just telling you right now, these storms are headed my way too soon. So if I lose power, folks, if we lose power for some reason, I live in this area. We will have a quick backup. Blaze will be right back up. So if you lose us, it's very, very temporary. It's not permanent, I promise.
Yeah, we've got. We'll be back up just as quick as we can. Which will hopefully be really quick, because it should just be a flip of a button and we're back. So
I'm just trying to look at some of the questions. I know that some people are really concerned about what's going on. A lot of people in the Fort Smith area seem to be concerned about this, rightfully so. Folks, even though there's no tornado warning for Fort Smith right now, a stronger thunderstorm is about to move in here over the next 25 minutes. And I'm being conservative with my timing there, so certainly need you to stay inside. Not a fun storm to go outside and hang out in. And we have some nasty storms ongoing now in Crawford County, soon to be Washington County as well, in southwestern Madison County. But Blaze, really, the storm I feel like we need to really pay close attention to is the southwest Arkansas storm, the tornado warning.
yeah, if you want to stay on that storm, I'm just kind of doing an overview of northwest Arkansas. I think very heavy rain towards Johnson, Fayetteville, Farmington area. But again, the strongest storm, like Zach was saying, that we're tracking is this tornado warning storm in southern Arkansas.
Yeah.
He's got it on the track. You can see some locations impacted. Again, still just keeping an eye on. Rotation's starting to strengthen just a little bit to the south of Lee Creek. If this keeps up, Zach, we're gonna have another tornado warning on this.
Okay, sounds good. We've had two questions now asking who we are, so I feel like this is a great time to reset and kind of tell you what we're doing. My name is Zachary Hall, otherwise known as the Arkansas Storm Tracker. I'm joined by meteorologist Blaze Thomas, and along with producer Frankie Shepard here on the Arkansas Weather Network. We are covering tornado warnings live tonight here in Arkansas, and I guess technically Oklahoma, Blaze. We have two tornado warnings that we're keeping a close eye on. The first one is here in southwest Arkansas, includes Sevier, Little River, Howard, and Hempstead County. And then we also have another tornado warning that's technically not in Arkansas, but it is very, very close, especially in the Fort Smith Van Buren area. And let me pull up my radar real quick.
We may have a new warning.
Okay. This tornado warning is close to Fort Smith. It's in Oklahoma, but we'll be moving into Arkansas soon. But we just got a new warning for Sebastian County. We just talked about this place.
Yep.
That wind sample was, I guess it was right.
I think so.
Folks, if you live in Fort Smith, Barling, Lavaca, Van Buren, Alma, Charleston, Pecola, which is in Oklahoma, there's a rather strong storm that's going to be moving in soon.
We may have another warning as well. Maybe another severe thunderstorm warning.
We're going to get down to the nitty gritty here, Blaze, for a second and get the sample on this. Yeah, we're talking, easily, folks, I think we're going to easily be pushing 40, 50 mile per hour winds with this storm in South Fort Smith. If you live near Bonanza, if you live in the White Bluff community, Tennessee Ridge Road, I'm sure some of you guys are familiar with that if you're from Fort Smith, but we can go all the way down here to the community level. Blaze, if you just cut me off if you have a new warning you want me to talk about or anything like that.
No, you're good. I'm just looking at kind of an overview right now. This is going right over the radar site.
It is.
Please do not
I was about to address that. Yeah, this is going to cross through Rye Hill. So Crescent, Mule, White Bluff, the Enterprise area, Beverly Enterprise is there on 250. What is that? 252, 253. Fianna Hills in South Fort Smith. Old Jenny Lynn community. Eventually the Budweiser can. Somebody wants to screenshot that and put that on Facebook. That's pretty interesting. I cannot believe that's on there. I forgot that I did that. The Budweiser can, it's a joke, but it's a landmark for people who are from here. Highway 96 and Highway 22, if you live in that area, Central City, Barling, Mazard, Lavaca, Bloomer, and Ursula. So basically, in a nutshell, South Fort Smith over to Lavaca, Barling, Charleston area for strong winds.
I think we got a new tornado warning. It's either going to be a new tornado warning or a continuation of one.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. But the system just went off.
Folks, I do want to remind everyone, I don't want anyone in Southwest Arkansas to think that we are forgetting about you. We just have a lot going on right now. If you live in Southwest Arkansas in Little River, Sevier, and Howard counties, and a small section of Hempstead, there is a tornado warning for you right down here. And this is moving off to
I
the
am
east
watching
northeast.
that, Zach. Rotation just doesn't look real strong on that right now.
Okay. Good news. Certainly want everyone, even though it doesn't look strong, let's make sure we're sheltered for the next 30, 45 minutes and let that storm pass and move on to your east. Where's our new warning at, Blaze? Is it right here? Did they shave something off?
I think it might have been an extension of this warning.
Tabitha Morris just said that she just got a dangerous storm warning alert for Van Buren. And I'm guessing it's because of this, Blaze, the wind potential on this.
Yeah, I think so. Also, just want to throw this out there. Not trying to scare anybody, but the storm that is severe warned for the Fort Smith area, Van Buren, Alma, it does have a tornado possible tag to it.
Okay.
So, again, does not mean that there is a tornado here, but there is some rotation. And again, we've seen that pretty much all evening. These storms have a little bit of rotation, a little bit of spin to them. So, I'm really just not seeing much rotation at all with this storm in southern Arkansas. Does not mean it's not rotating. Still could. But just looking at it from a couple different radar sites, I'm just not seeing anything that really catches my attention, which is good. That's good news, guys.
Someone asked about Lavaca being in the clear. Lavaca is in the dangerous severe thunderstorm warning. So definitely not in the clear in Lavaca. This is going to move your way really soon. A lot of wind potential with this storm. I think that's the message that we really need to get across here. Jordan Garner said that she also, or he, I'm sorry, I can't see your profile, just got a dangerous storm warning from our app, from the Arkansas Weather Network mobile app. Folks, if you're watching this, please download the Arkansas Weather Network mobile app. It will alert you to dangerous thunderstorms just like this one. If you live in South Fort Smith, Barling, Lavaca, Charleston, Alma, strong thunderstorm moving through with strong winds, possibly 60+ mile per hour winds, Blaze, and maybe some hail. Along with a tornado possible tag, which means that a tornado could occur, but there's no evidence for a tornado warning at this time.
Yeah. We're just continuing to watch things very closely, guys. Not seeing really any changes right now to the radar. Again, we've technically got 3 severe thunderstorm warnings and 1 tornado warning, so it's really getting active. And so, and that's what we expected. We expected it to be an active night.
Blaze, it's about to really storm at my house, so I'm just letting you know if I go dark, it's because it's almost here. So hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully I'm good to go.
I've got the backup ready to go. So worst case scenario, we'll just flip it on.
Yes.
In the event, guys, that it does make a new Facebook Live or YouTube Live, just tune into it. And then once things come back up, again, we are working to put backups in all of our stuff. We're going to have all this set up. But this is a new thing. And so there's a lot of technology that goes involved with this. So we plan to do it this week. But as you can see, storms have kind of threw a curveball in the plans. So
we have a circulation too that is, we've had a couple comments about it. I'm seeing about a lot of comments from places that are not in the tornado warning. Polk County's not included. Montgomery County's not included. This is for Howard, Sevier, and a small sliver of Hempstead County. Little River, Sevier, yes, Howard, and a small section of Hempstead County. So if you live near Nashville, if you live between Nashville and Dirks, if you live near Locksburg, if you live southeast of Locksburg, if you live anywhere in this area that we're zoomed in on here, Oak Grove, Milrose, Ben Lomond, Callingsville, Milford, Shiloh, the Midway community, you need to be sheltered due to a possible tornado that's moving east-northeast toward your location. If you live on Highway 278 in Center Point, Mount Carmel, Blue Bayou, Temperanceville, Chapel Hill, Corinth, Perkins, I'm naming off all sorts of local communities that you should know if you live in this area. You should certainly be taking your tornado precautions at this time as of 1:30 a.m. Wednesday morning in southwest Arkansas. Blaze, they canceled our Oklahoma tornado warning. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to let you know of.
Folks,
that's good.
They did cancel the tornado warning in Oklahoma, but I'm telling you right now, this storm that's moving through Sebastian, Crawford, and soon to be Franklin County means business. If you live in Van Buren, Fort Smith, Blaze, I don't want to forget about this other storm, Cedarville, Mountainburg, West Fork, and Elkins. It's probably pretty nasty too.
Yeah, that to me looks like it's got the largest hail core, showing under 1 inch right now. But again, the primary threats tonight is hail and wind with an isolated tornado. But we've seen, we've not got any confirmation of anything on the ground tonight. But I would say that no doubt we've had hail and we've had wind, and I think we've got damage in some areas. I bet we've got some power outages too. That.
This getting a lot of comments from people in Fort Smith saying it is getting crazy in Fort Smith, and we can see that on the radar, guys. Lots of heavy rain, maybe some hail, and of course lots of thunder and lightning too. But our biggest concern with this storm that was moving into Fort Smith was the wind. It's so close to the radar side, Blaze. This is passing over the Fort Smith radar side there in South Fort Smith and Rye Hill, so a little tough to tell. But looking at the sampling on here, I mean, these are right next to the radar site. We're getting winds of 30 plus miles per hour, probably some 40, maybe even some 50 mile an hour gust at times. So if you live in Fort Smith or in the general vicinity over Barling, Lavaca, Kibler, Alma, or Charleston area, you should probably be inside and not outside. Blaze, this is a storm you probably don't
Not
mess
only
with.
that, fingers are crossed that it does not take out the radar, because we need the radar.
Yes.
That would be bad.
Yeah, that would not be good.
I mean, I don't think it will. I don't see any signs of
okay.
that. But
I think we're okay. But really, folks, right now, just to kind of reset with you, here in western Arkansas, we do have one tornado warning in Little River, Howard, and parts of Hempstead County and Sevier County. You can see the red polygon at the bottom of your screen there in southwest Arkansas. We have a dangerous storm moving through Fort Smith at this time, along with another dangerous storm that's near Mountainburg, moving off to the east-northeast into southern Washington and southwestern Madison County. If you don't live in the areas that we just talked about, you're likely not observing much in the way of severe weather, but you could be hearing thunder or heavy rainfall, like if you live in northwest Arkansas. So the rest of the state is quiet at this time, but storms are going to continue east late tonight and into Wednesday.
all right, we've got new tornado watches, not warnings, but watches that do now expand and include a large portion of the state. So,
Okay, let's we can pull that up. Give me just a second. I'm just going to pull up the Facebook page. We'll show it there. Well, no, I'm not, because I don't want to have to do all the login junk.
Yeah, those counties for the tornado watch are Boone, Marion, Montgomery, Newton, Pike, Pope, Searcy, and Yell counties.
Thank you, producer Frankie. We appreciate you, brother. You are the man. So, folks, he just named it off. It sounds like a lot of, correct me if I'm wrong, Frankie, you said Boone and Newton, so some of the north central Arkansas counties. You said Pike County too?
Yes. Yeah, Boone, Marion, Montgomery, Newton, Pike, Pope, Searcy, and Yell counties.
Okay, awesome. So, kind of a smorgasbord, really, of counties there across the. Somebody from Jocelyn Wilkins just said that Dardanelle just got a watch. So Yell County, Sierra Keith saying it's hailing in Van Buren. It looks like it is, Blaze. You can see a little bit of a return there. Lee Creek Park to the east, moving toward Oak Grove and Shibley and Eastgate Place.
it is a very intense storm. It's not one that you just kind of, well, it might storm. No, guys, it is like it's happening. So you might as well. And again, want to reiterate the fact that there's no tornado warning on this, but it does have a tornado possible tag.
Yeah.
So again, what that means is confidence is not high enough to issue a tornado warning, but they do see some broad rotation. And so, and we can see that too. I mean, it's there. This storm was previously tornado warned, but then it moved, into Arkansas, and then they canceled that. So
yeah, we're getting a lot of reports from people in Fort Smith. People asking about Greenwood. Greenwood's not in the warning, but it's going to get noisy here momentarily with the storms that move through. The worst of this, though, is in the Fort Smith Van Buren area, moving off to the east. The severe thunderstorm warnings for Sebastian, Crawford, and parts of Franklin County, and then we have another severe thunderstorm warning to the north in southern Washington, southwestern Madison, and Crawford County. Dude, that thunder scared me to death. Whew. You hear that?
So
it's loud.
So far the power's holding.
Holding tight. Yep. Fingers crossed.
So looking at this, going back to this tornado warned storm in southern Arkansas, I have looked at this at multiple radar sites from Fort Smith to Shreveport. I just don't see much rotation with this, guys. Does not mean it's not rotating because, again, it's a tornado warning storm. But I'm just telling you guys, overall, it looks pretty broad. So, and we got a new severe thunderstorm warning.
Yeah, this just adding to what you're saying, Blaze. I'm just not seeing like it was earlier. I felt like the rotation when it was near Foreman was stronger, or at least more organized, and I'm just not seeing a whole lot there with that. Now, with that being said, if you live near Locksburg, if you live near Mineral Springs and north, especially between there and Derrick's, Nashville, kind of in that area, 371 up to 278, Blue Bayou, kind of those areas, stay in your shelter until the warning is canceled. Just play it safe. There's no reason to risk it. Get a new warning? We did get a new warning.
Yeah, it's south of Fort Smith.
Okay. We'll go over this. We'll go in depth with you guys. This looks like a South Sebastian County warning. So if you live in Hartford, if you live in Huntington, if you live in the Witcherville area, if you live in Midland, South Sebastian in general, if you live along Highway 96, I think I'm about to sneeze. If you live on Highway 96 from Hartford over to Mansfield, if you live east of Huntington, Crossroads, Fox Hill, Arcola, the Patterson community, this does not include Abbott, but Abbott and Echo, for those of you who know the region there east of Huntington, will likely observe this storm as well. But this is mostly a South Sebastian thing you can see
Hey,
on the
Zach?
map. Yep.
Got good news. They've canceled tornado warning. So we have no active tornado warnings
Awesome.
in the state.
I wish we had like a bell thing that we could use to celebrate. Folks, looking at everything statewide just momentarily, I'm getting a lot of questions on the chat from people in Jonesboro and Pine Bluff and Monticello. Guys, there's nothing going on for most of the state. This is a Western Arkansas problem for now. These storms are going to transition east tonight into central and eastern Arkansas. It will just be very late tonight and into tomorrow. That's more of a Wednesday thing. Right now, we have no tornado warnings. Blaze just notified me of that. Blaze, we've got 3 severe thunderstorm warnings.
Yep, that's
4, I guess,
several
technically.
special weather statements. But
Okay, we've got 4, technically 4 severe thunderstorm warnings on the board. 2 of them are in Sebastian County, and then 2 of them are in Crawford County and parts of Washington and Madison County, and I guess a small sliver on both ends of Franklin County, Blaze.
yeah, we're continuing to. Okay, nope. Got a new tornado warning.
New tornado warning?
We got a new tornado warning. Yep, it's going to be for the Alma area, Rudy, up
Okay.
towards Mountainburg.
Okay, sounds good. So, folks, we're getting a new tornado warning. It's going to be here right now. So, folks, if you live in Alma, if you live in Mountainburg, we'll just go ahead and go down the list here. We'll get real tight for a second, guys. Just bear with me. We'll go over this together, okay? If you live in... I really need my stuff to work here. If you live in Concord, Eastgate Place, Furry, Meadows, Rudy, or Dean Springs, you are an immediate concern for this, so you should be sheltered as fast as possible, okay? As safely, as fastly as possible. If you live in the Graphic community, if you live in the Piney community, let me switch back over to our radar. This is hard to see. If you live in the city limits of Mountainburg along Highway 71, if you live in Kane, if you live in Piney, Fern, we'll just say White Rock as well, and Locke. This goes all the way up to Bidville too, Blaze, which is on the north end of the warning, and then Mountain Crest. So a large chunk of Crawford and Franklin County.
One spot to keep
Yeah.
in mind for that tornado warning is also the Loves and Workman's truck stops at exit 24 on 49.
Great point, Frankie. Great point. Yeah, guys, we all, if you're from this area and you've traveled 49, you know about the Loves and the Workman's that's located on 49 there near Rudy. This does include that? Yes, it does, Frankie, you're right. It's difficult to say right in here, isn't it? It's like right kind of there just north of the 40-49 interchange.
Yeah, you see there Peach Drive there to the east of Rudy.
I do.
That'll be where it's at.
Dean's Market,
Yeah, that's your
Dean
exit right
Springs
there.
Road. So folks, if you're watching this on your phone, or if you're listening to us and you're at those truck stops, you need to be moving into the truck stops and sheltering. It's not safe to be in a vehicle in this tornado warning. And if you know of someone, folks that are traveling down I-49 from Fayetteville or wherever, going back to Fort Smith or what have you, or going back to I-40, you are under a tornado warning. The 49 and 40 interchange by the way station, Frankie. I think that's also in this too, or it's close by Alma. So
Yeah,
So-
that exit, I think it's exit 12 on 40 when you're going westbound or
Okay.
eastbound to that 49 interchange is inside this warning.
okay, so certainly want everyone to be sheltered.
Oh, we just lost internet. It's coming back. It's coming back now.
Okay.
Okay, we're back.
Do you think we lost
had
completely?
No, we're still up. We're still up.
Okay.
It just dropped for a second.
Okay, cool. Folks, if you're still watching, make sure to leave a comment. We just dropped internet briefly. Leave a comment and make sure that we're still up for you. But if you live in downtown Van Buren near Fort Smith, you're not included in the warning. It's more so for the areas northeast of there, places like Alma, Mountainburg, Rudy, and points to the northeast into northern Franklin, and then, of course, northeastern Crawford County. You're good. Okay, people are saying power surge. We're good.
Yeah, this storm is very strong near your location, Zach.
Yeah, I know. I'm hearing it outside.
I mean, it's so let's
Fingers
just hope
crossed.
we don't lose stuff. But if we do, guys, again, we got to back up and just give us like 30 seconds to a minute. We'll be back up.
So they did issue that severe thunderstorm warning out to the Huntsville area, a larger chunk of Madison County that we've been watching for a long time. This does include southern Washington, southeastern Washington County. It does not include the city of Fayetteville, Johnson, or Springdale. And they did put that up to Huntsville. But right now the main focus is the tornado warning in Crawford and Franklin County. A lot of questions about Bentonville and Rogers. There's no severe weather ongoing in Bentonville or Rogers right now. It's just general thunder. That's it.
So Zach, looking at this this warning that they issued, this tornado warning, I see very broad rotation on it. I don't see real strong. So that's good news, guys. I hope that kind of eases your mind. Does not mean it's not producing a tornado. That's not what that means. But it's just hard for me to see kind of any rotation with it.
Yeah, I don't see a whole lot here, to be honest with you. I really don't. But that, of course, perhaps a precautionary warning. This storm has rotated in the past. It's caused some problems in the past. So I'm going to treat it seriously and treat it with respect. There's a nasty storm moving through Fort Smith right now. The East Fort Smith area, the greater downtown Fort Smith has been excluded from the warning. But folks, I don't know if you can hear it outside, but I mean, it is storming like crazy at my house here southeast of Fort Smith. But Barling, Lavaca, Charleston, Kibler, all included in that warning as well. I'm going to just hold tight on what we've got right there for the Crawford County storm.
So yeah, technically we've got 5 severe thunderstorm warnings in Arkansas right now. No? We've got 5 and 1 tornado warning. So 6 different warnings right now, guys.
I know that the sirens are going off in Van Buren, guys, but a large chunk of Van Buren is not included in the warning. This is northeast of Van Buren, moving towards Alma, Mountainburg, Rudy, the I-49 and 40 interchange, as you can see on the map there, and into northern Franklin County and northeastern Crawford County. This is not moving southwest towards Van Buren. A lot of concerned people commenting from Van Buren about that. If you live in northwest Arkansas, lots of comments from Fayetteville, Bentonville, Rogers. Folks, there's no severe weather warnings there right now, and just general rain and thunder. I think the severe weather risk in that area is extremely, extremely low. No, Taylor, this is not in downtown Van Buren right now. It's moving away from there. Someone asked about West Fork.
Overview of radar here.
Yeah, no problem.
Just, man, this is it's a strong line.
Yeah, it is.
One area that I'm watching right now, again, it's not warmed or anything, but it is kind of isolated, is up towards the Newton County area. You see that little cell trying to develop right around the Jasper area.
Yeah.
I think it's got a hail core starting to develop. Because it's isolated, we'll have to watch. And again, no immediate threat right now. Obviously, we've got 1 tornado warning and a couple severe thunderstorm warnings, but it's just something to know. We're watching all kinds of different radar scans here. I'm also seeing another area of broad rotation, Zach.
Okay.
Actually, just south of your location.
Okay.
Up towards the Huntington area.
Okay. Yeah, not too
It's
far from me.
weak. It's weak, but
Okay. We'll keep an eye on that.
it's something. Yeah, not microburst, but quick spin up tornado potential.
Yeah, strong winds regardless through a large chunk of Sebastian County at this time, guys. East Fort Smith, Barling, Lavaca, Charleston, Kibler. But really the main concern at this time, the most immediate concern, is the tornado warning for parts of Crawford and Franklin County. This does not include the city limits, the greater city limits, downtown Van Buren, mostly an Alma, Rudy, Mountainburg problem. We can go down street level on this too, and I can name off communities for days for you if it helps. Concord, Alma, Meadows, Furry, Rudy, Ball, Dean Springs, the Graphic Community, Piney, Kane, Mountainburg, Fern, Locke, all the way up to Bidville and Mountain Crest into northern Franklin County. So that is the number one concern on our board as this time, this one tornado warning that we have. But there's no other tornado warnings in Arkansas as of 1:47 a.m. on Wednesday, March 11th.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look and just seeing, if we're getting any updates or anything. Overall, guys, like Zach was saying, those are our primary storms that we're watching right now. There's 3 active severe thunderstorm warnings technically. And for anyone in southern Arkansas, I do see some wind that's kind of a little bit on the stronger side, just south of Dirks, north of Nashville. I'm not saying they would issue a severe thunderstorm warning on that, but I am letting you know that there is a little bit stronger wind gust on there. I suspect they probably have a special weather statement on that right now. Just looking at radar, Zach, and velocity, I just don't see anything too significant.
No.
We've got something here.
No, in general, based off of what I'm seeing, these storms are stronger. They're noisy. They probably have some pockets of gustier winds. We have the tornado warning in Crawford County, of course, and Franklin. It looks like they've shaved off a lot of this, folks, so we'll kind of cover that for a moment.
Yeah.
The tornado warning has been shaved down. It does not include Alma anymore. It does not include Van Buren. It includes Mountainburg, parts of northern Franklin County. It does include a little sliver of Highway 71 and 49 there south of Mountainburg. The worst of this is going to be south of Mountainburg and moving off to the east-northeast into northern Franklin and northeastern Crawford County. Excuse me. The worst of this storm blaze, too, is moving into the Central City, Diamond Grove, Lavaca, Bloomer, the Bloomer community, Ursula and Beverly is probably up next, along with the Island community there along the Arkansas River, and then Vesta, as that moves out of soon to be Sebastian County and eventually into Franklin County here in the next 20 minutes or so. And then someone was asking about Huntington Blaze too, before we move on. Huntington's right here. I'm from Greenwood, and I can tell you right now, it's storming like the dickens outside. We're not under a severe thunderstorm warning here, but it's very noisy. I'm sure it's similar to many of you in South Sebastian. They canceled the warning just now in South Sebastian, so mostly just heavy rain and some thunder. But Blaze, I think the worst of it for now is from Berryville south to East Fort Smith, Sebastian County.
Yeah, I think so. Looking at again, just want to kind of reiterate the fact we're looking at velocity scan, and man, that is some serious wind, Zach, that's going to be heading towards Charleston area. So
Okay.
this is an early heads up for anybody in Mulberry, Charleston. Just seeing what I'm seeing, that's pretty intense. Radar,
Yeah.
I think could be overdoing it a little bit, but
Well, that's close to the radar site, man. I don't think it's that 112 reading. I'm not sure how much I believe, but this one reading right here, this is suggesting that just north of Lavaca near the Arkansas River, we could be winds around 60 miles an hour. So severe wind gusts by far in the Lavaca area, northeastern Sebastian County.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, just looking at what I'm seeing, I think this thing's getting stronger. I think this line is really starting to crank up on the wind gust.
What is this? There near Elkins. It looks like there was a little something there to watch. And it looks like our rotation in Crawford and Franklin County has waned an awful lot. Sorry. Me and this bug are about to fight. in my room, in my office. But this is the only warnings we have, Blaze, in the whole state, are these 3 warnings.
Yeah.
We've got a severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Washington and a large chunk of Madison County. And we have a tornado warning for parts of Crawford and Franklin, and then the 1 warning in Sebastian, Crawford, and Franklin County. And that's it, guys. We only have 3 warnings as of 1:52 a.m. Blaze, do you have any
looking down the
reports?
line here. No, but one storm that is catching my eye a little bit more now. I think potentially for having a microburst potential, just looking at the signature, is going to be just south of Waldron. We need to watch Waldron because I could see a warning coming on that storm. Just looking at it, it to me looks like a microburst potential.
Okay. I see that, and there's also a strong storm there southeast of Mena in Polk County as well that's going to be moving into Montgomery County soon. So Odin, Mount Ida, Norman. No warnings on those storms. Let's switch over to Shreveport real quick, and then we'll go back to our tornado warning. Yeah, not a whole lot else down here, brother. Really.
No,
Pretty
I
empty.
think
Plenty of
those
storms
two
over by
storms,
Dallas and
especially that
stuff.
Mena storm. Yeah.
Someone was asking Blaze about Harrison. Folks, if you're in Harrison, they're in Boone County. There are some stronger storms that are moving into your location here real soon. No severe warning, but noisy, just like the thunder outside of my house right now. Monica is asking about Van Buren being in the clear. Yeah, I think the worst of it is past you and is moving off to the east now. So yes, definitely. I think the worst of it is certainly beyond you at this time.
That was a good catch, Zach. Just south of Big Fork, you said the Mena storm.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if that thing continues to intensify if we get a warning on that. Just because that is rotating. And then you've got the microburst potential that's just to the east of Y City. So, again, if you guys don't know what microburst means, basically, I'll just kind of summarize. It's where the storm gets really, really strong, and then it collapses on itself, and then the winds go out, and that creates significant damage. So that's why I think there's probably going to be some damage reports in that area. Speaking of damage and power outages, we are getting updates that Crawford County has 296 people out of power right now. Sebastian has 1. Franklin has 0, Johnson 0, Scott 0. Washington County has 196 out, and Benton County has 29. So pretty intense storms. But I would say, Zach, looking at this, the strongest storm we've tracked has probably been the Crawford County storm.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of questions from people in Alma asking, Zach, can we come out of the closet now, or can we come out of the safe spot? Folks, if you're in Alma, you're still technically under a severe thunderstorm warning, but I think the worst of it has passed your location. So I certainly understand if you want to come out. You're no longer under a tornado warning in the city limits of Alma. The worst of that has moved off to your northeast. So hopefully that helps you.
Yeah, Zach, if you want to stay on these storms, I'm going to keep an eye on these southern Arkansas storms just because I'm seeing some signs that rotation may be strengthening a little bit. Just south of Big Fork. So,
but Colby Kennedy, a friend of mine that lives down in that area, said that they're getting some pretty good wind down there close to the Big Fork area. Colby's a reliable source. So,
that would be.
Blaze, I also got a report. This is a delayed report from Braden Polk, who has sent me some fantastic reports over time and said that when the storm moved through Van Buren, he was able to see the base where the tornado warning originated from and said that it was low. Didn't see a tornado. He's not saying it had a tornado, but said the base was low on it. So I'm sure some other people probably saw that as well. Folks,
wow.
Lots of people commenting, asking, can we go to bed in fill in the community name, town, whatever. Guys, if you're not under a tornado warning right now or severe thunderstorm warning, go to bed. Let us cover this.
Okay, we've got Zach, we've got a new warning.
Go ahead.
With a tornado possible tag.
Okay.
It's basically an extension that now includes Mulberry, Ozark, those areas.
Okay, I'm guessing it's an extension of the Sebastian and Franklin County warning, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it is.
Yep, there it is. I just saw it. So folks, we've got a new severe thunderstorm warning that includes Charleston, Mulberry, Ozark, of course, I-40. We've all driven I-40 from Mulberry to Ozark. This does include Altus and Denning. Does not include Johnson County yet. but it does include Wautatula, Felknertown, Cravens, Lone Elm, White Rock, Jethro, Barnes, Mineral Springs. This is in Franklin County, not Mineral Springs in South Arkansas. Beech Grove, just to name off a few communities there. Webb City, Poping, Cecil, Pleasant View, and Tony. So just to name off, numerous communities there in Franklin County near Ozark. And Blaze, I don't want to forget about our tornado warning. We have a tornado warning on the board still too, here in Franklin and Crawford.
Yeah, that is true.
Go ahead and touch on this real quick. Don't see a whole lot for rotation. Not saying there's zero, but this is moving out of the Fern area, it looks like, and into northern Franklin near the Cass community. Perhaps even near Locke in northern Franklin and extreme northeastern Crawford County on that tornado warning.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just not seeing.
No.
Again, doesn't mean there's not something there, guys, but I'm just not seeing really any rotation with that particular storm. But I will tell you this. I am seeing rotation, actually a couple areas. Strongest one that I'm probably looking at right now is near the Langley area. Yeah, Zach, I think we're going to have a tornado warning coming in. It's going to be just to the north of Langley, just south of Big Fork.
Okay. Our storm down here.
Rotation's really starting to tighten up. I think we'll see a warning pretty quick off this.
I see it. So, folks, meteorologist Blaze Thomas here is talking about this circulation here, just an area of interest. We'll just call it that. In southwestern Montgomery County, this includes areas, close to like Norman, not quite Mount Ina at this time. We'll see if the National Weather Service does issue a warning for it, but this is a very rural part of Arkansas, down in the Ouachita's, but people certainly live down here. Blaze, this is a pretty intense little storm. Got a lot of lightning on it.
It is. I think it's only just a matter of time before we see a warning on it.
Okay.
I think a warning. By the way, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning as well that just came out.
Okay.
And it's basically in the same area, guys. It's just south. Actually, not a new one, but they were continuing it. Also, they canceled tornado warning. There's no longer tornado warning in effect for Crawford and Franklin County. So that's good news. But guys,
Great news.
Looking at what I'm seeing, I think we're fixing to have another tornado warning, and it's going to be just to the north of Langley.
Okay. So just reiterating what Blaze said there, no tornado warnings. They're canceling Crawford and Franklin. We'll see what happens with the storm down near Big Fork. But we have, 3 severe thunderstorm warnings, Blaze? 2? Crawford, Franklin, Sebastian, and Madison and Washington County. So Harrison, it's noisy. Berryville, it's noisy. No warnings up there. We're keeping a close eye, though, on this one. Let's check out this on LZK and see if we can tell any difference on it. No, that's tough.
No, Fort Smith's probably going to be your best bet.
Yeah, and it does look like whatever was there has waned a little. We'll keep a close eye on this one, though.
Yeah. It looked weaker. But, it had something there. You could see it, but then it just, it's falling. It's falling apart. So that's good news, guys. Really good news.
Well, I think this is a fantastic time to kind of reset here. So, looking at things statewide, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Zachary Hall, otherwise known as the Arkansas Storm Tracker. I'm joined by meteorologist Blaze Thomas, along with producer Frankie Shepard here on the Arkansas Weather Network. Thank you for trusting us with your severe weather coverage in the state of Arkansas. We cover all 75 counties. We've been on live, Blaze, for a while now for several tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings covering in western Arkansas. But Blaze, we will have more storms tonight. If you want to talk about that while I check some reports. More storms tonight, late tonight in eastern Arkansas or tomorrow and whatnot. So
That's right. So we've got the line of thunderstorms moving through right now. Something we're watching is for the potential of a quick spin-up isolated tornado. Tornado threat's not high tonight, but it is low, and it's something we've got to continue to watch, especially if storms can be more isolated in nature. But we think as this line continues to move east, then we're going to see some redevelopment take place in southern Arkansas, and that would be like the early time frame, probably about 6 to 8 a.m., somewhere in there. We could see some more thunderstorms develop around southern Arkansas. So we're going to be watching things very closely and keeping an eye on stuff.
yeah, folks, the severe weather risk tomorrow will be similar, I think, to tonight. It's a low risk, but that doesn't mean we won't have a few warnings to deal with like we've had tonight. We're not anticipating widespread significant severe weather. I think the biggest concern tomorrow is going to be south and east of Little Rock, but for tonight, it's north and west of Little Rock, and that's exactly what has happened so far. We have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings now. We have one in parts of Crawford, southeastern Washington, southwestern, well, not really southwestern, central Madison County, places like Elkins and Huntsville. This is a pretty nasty storm, and then we have a severe thunderstorm warning here in Sebastian, which will soon likely expire in Franklin County. So Mulberry, Charleston, and Ozark. I feel like I'm losing my voice.
Well, there's been a lot to talk about tonight, Zach. There has, and there continues to be, and we knew this was going to get active, and that's exactly what we're seeing. So definitely want to keep an eye on this storm that is just to the east of Parks or south of Waldron.
Yep.
Got a hail core starting to develop. It's isolated. These are the types of storms, guys. These isolated cells, that is the concern. Because if storms can tap into the environment, which is semi-supportive of severe weather and tornadoes, then we would have to watch for the potential of this to rotate. And so that's something we'll continue to watch.
Alma people, you're good to go to bed. You get a lot of questions, I think, from the tornado warning. West Fork people, I think you're okay. Guys, if you're in Bella Vista, Rogers, Springdale, Fayetteville, Bentonville, there's nothing going on there. And it's just thunder, rain and thunder. The severe weather risk is to your south and east at this time. I think for the most part, this is going to continue to shift off to the east as we go through the night tonight. Not saying we can't have more development, I suppose, but I feel like Blaze, I'm sure, agree that we're kind of washing out what we had to work with as far as instability goes in this region with the widespread storms.
We are, and Northwest Arkansas didn't have all that much instability, and because of that, that's why we haven't seen that much storm activity that was severe in Northwest Arkansas. It's been mainly the River Valley, Fort Smith area, and we could see that. These thunderstorms right now, they are zapping all of the energy that we have. And also we're seeing, this is something good to note, guys. Yes, we are seeing some more storms developing ahead of the line, but these storms are not surface-based enough to tap into the environment. And because of that, that could always change. But I do think we're seeing the rain out ahead of it. I think we also have a cap to deal with, which is kind of interesting to throw in the equation.
Yeah.
So there's a chance that some of this instability starts to weaken pretty fast ahead of the line, and that would mean things would continue to weaken. So I would be good with a weakening trend for sure.
Oh, yeah. Tammy Meadows is in North Fort Smith asking, can she go back to bed? Yes, go back to bed. We'll be here all night. So if for some reason another storm decides to flare up and it gets noisy again, you can bring us right back up and we'll chat with you. But between Elkins and Huntsville had power flashes, seems to be calming, passing now. It must have got windy there. A lot of comments placed from Charleston. I'm guessing it's pretty noisy in Charleston right now here. Branch, along Highway 22. What's the name of that highway? Peter Pender goes up to Cecil, Meg, Etna, and Ozark. It's about to get real noisy in Ozark here soon. And east of Mulberry along 64 to Altus.
Yeah, it's pretty strong.
Harrison, get a lot of questions about Harrison. It's noisy in Harrison. That's why we're getting questions.
Yeah, a lot of lightning.
Troy,
But
you're asking
guys-
about Ozark. That storm's moving in soon, brother. Sorry, Blaze. Someone was asking about Ozark.
No, you're good.
Talked about it.
The good thing about, the Harrison area is we're not seeing any signs of this being severe. Yes, it's got
No.
lightning and stuff. But again, I think this is helping so that when the main line moves through, it's got less instability to work with. And again, we didn't have that much instability in northern Arkansas to work with to begin with. So, and again, that goes back to why we did not have an enhanced risk or a moderate. We just had a slight risk.
Yeah.
So
A lot of questions,
we've
too,
got a new
about
severe thunderstorm warning.
a lot of questions about Huntsville. Folks, if you're in Huntsville, I know it's noisy. I know there's a lot of lightning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. So if you're in Huntsville, you should certainly be inside, not away from windows. The worst of the storm might pass just to your south, but it's going to be close enough anyhow. I would certainly treat it with respect, okay? We have a new severe thunderstorm warning, Blaze. I'm guessing for this little sliver in
Yep. Just south of it.
Franklin County and Madison County.
Yep.
There's just not a whole lot of towns in this area. It's hard to identify. It's new severe thunderstorm warning for Franklin County and parts of southeastern Madison County. This includes the communities of Cass, West Cobb, Reading, Dutton, Pettigrew, Boston, and Red Star. So some very rural areas of Franklin and Madison County in that latest severe thunderstorm warning for strong wind gust, maybe some hail as well.
Zach, there's definitely something going on here with this storm that is to the southeast of Waldron.
Okay.
Gotta watch it.
All right. Folks,
It's
Blaze is
got
talking about
that
the storm
look.
here. Yeah.
You see the classic look it's got, and it's all by itself.
It is all by itself. We'll see if it... I do wonder if the atmosphere... I know that the National Weather Service in Little Rock referenced the downstream environment wasn't as supportive. So I'm curious to see how this storm handles when it moves into Yale County. I know Yale County's under a tornado watch. So certainly something to watch. And then we're keeping an eye on the Montgomery County storm too. It's moving into Odin, Mount Ida, and Norman. That storm looks like it's lost its lightning. So that's a good sign.
Yeah, we've got 2 new severe thunderstorm warnings that's just been issued. It's
Okay.
basically an extension that now includes Clarksville, Ozark. It's a big warning.
Okay.
It'll pop up here in just a second.
Yeah, Nikki Too Tall said Clarksville just got a warning, and that's the warning we were talking about. This does include parts of Newton County as well, and even western sections, extreme western sections, northwestern sections of Pope County. So just to name off some towns that are included here, Coal Hill, everyone's been through Clarksville and I-40 before, Lamar. If you go north of Clarksville and go up here, you've got Mount Zion, Mount Vernon, Hillcrest, the Gillian Settlement, Ferris Spring, Garber, Oark, Rosetta, Salis, and then into parts of Newton County. This goes all the way up to Highway 7, so Edwards Junction, Walnut, Nail, Limestone, Deer, Cowell, Pleasant Hill, and Crossroad. And Bertha, Sand Gap, and Treat there in Pope County. Strong winds and hail will be possible with those storms. Look at the velocity on
We
this
got
two
several
blaze.
severe thunderstorm warnings. What'd you say? Sorry.
Just looking at the velocity on that storm, see kind of what it looks like.
We've got a new severe thunderstorm warning / modification for the Huntsville area.
Okay.
Yeah, see
Yeah.
that one isolated cell right there concerns me. I don't see rotation on it right now, but guys, it gives me the signature of a microburst potentially, and it's isolated. It's all by itself. That could be a problem here in a little bit.
I think I'm just getting delirious, getting tired. Starting to gaze off into the radar. The severe weather
Well,
risk in
thankfully-
central Arkansas is not going to be real high in the morning, but it's not going to be zero. It's kind of like tonight. You know, it's a low risk, but we could certainly have a few warnings, a few cranky storms, maybe even a couple tornado warnings. So can't rule that out completely. To whoever asked that, Stephanie Jones.
One thing. Well, just kind of lost my train of thought there.
It's all good.
You
We're
know,
tired.
it's something we got to continue to watch, and we've got multiple storms again that we are watching right now. That's a big severe thunderstorm warning, though.
That
they
is.
issued.
That goes out a ways there, man. That goes all the way up into Newton County from technically over in Franklin County. So that's a pretty good stretch. Folks, a lot of people asking, can we sleep? Yes, you can absolutely go to sleep.
We got a new severe thunderstorm warning. We got these like they're popping like fireworks right now.
Okay.
This one does include the majority of Newton County and Boone County. Harrison is now under a severe thunderstorm warning.
I see
So,
it. Okay.
Yeah, these warnings are popping like fireworks, guys. I mean, they're just bam, bam, bam.
So this is, I'm guessing, coming out of Little Rock because they didn't include Carroll County or Madison. Did they include Madison County? I don't know. It goes up through Harrison, folks. That's what we're talking about here. Parts of Newton, parts of Boone County. And the threat here, much like everything else, is going to be strong winds and hail as well. If you're in Huntsville, it is a storm now. This storm that's moving through the Huntsville region there southeast of town, the Aurora, Wharton, Reynolds, and soon to be Kingston and Loy communities as well. It's going to be very noisy, along with strong wind gust and hail potential too. And keep an eye on that Scott County storm blaze.
Yeah, it's still.
Yes, Braley. Alma and Van Buren is okay. This is moving away from you in Alma and Van Buren.
It's definitely still trying to rotate. Just to the east of Parks, just east of Waldron. The good news. Oh, I did remember what I was going to say, Zach.
What?
Look, the storms have passed your area, and everything stayed on.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah. Folks, as these storms move through, when they pass your location, your severe weather risk goes down dramatically. So I live west of the line of storms now, and we didn't lose power here, so life is good. There is no tornado warnings right now. I'm seeing people ask other people if there's tornado warnings for fill in the blank. We came on here live for tornado warnings earlier is why the title of the video says that. Right now, we've just got severe thunderstorm warnings. We have several, as a matter of fact, in parts of west central and northern Arkansas, with mainly a concern for hail and wind. If you get a severe thunderstorm warning on your phone, if you've got the Arkansas Weather Network mobile app and it's alerting you to that, it's likely for wind and hail. The strongest storm blaze, I think, in the state is the one in Madison County, headed towards Harrison, southeastern Carroll County as well.
I think so. It's just interesting to me, and again, this just kind of goes between, we have two different NWSs issuing warnings here, but Carroll County's not in a warning, but I think they will be pretty soon.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's one of those things where the offices kind of butt up to each other, and so the polygon can be different for each county. But if you live in southeastern Carroll County, there's a pretty good chance if you live near 412. We've all driven 412 going out of Springdale like you're going to go to Branson. That's kind of the area we're talking about here. From Huntsville to the east, Dry Fork, Gobbler, Osage, Delmar, Red Bank, you're likely going to observe these storms that are southeast of Huntsville over the next 30 to 45 minutes, and it's strong too.
Very.
Shauna Navarro says, literally getting hammered up here on County Road 5555. I'm not real sure where that is, but I'm guessing she's in one of these storms.
County Road 5555.
Kelsey Ursi said Madison County is wild. She said that a couple times, Blaze. I think she means business. Or Madison County.
Yeah, it's looking rough out there.
Yeah.
The good news is not really seeing a tornado threat with these storms, so that's good. Okay, got a new severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, that now includes parts of Carroll County, and it's basically filling in where the previous warning. If you look at this, we have a bunch of severe thunderstorm warnings right now. We have seven on the board.
Oh wow. Okay. Yep. I see the warning there. I'm going to turn off lightning for a second, make this a little bit more clear and easy to see. So folks, the bulk of the severe thunderstorm warnings right now stretch all the way to Harrison, down to Clarksville, parts of Sebastian County, which will eventually be canceled, a large chunk, almost all of Franklin County, up through Madison, Johnson County, and then Newton County, and then now southern parts of Carroll County as well.
Zach?
Yeah.
The storm just to the north of Cedar Creek that we've been watching that has some broad rotation, it's starting to look like it's starting to hook a little bit. I think it might be trying to get some inflow. Now, there is some rain ahead of it, so that could play a factor, but we could have a concern on our hands pretty quick if this storm continues to it may be starting to tap into something here. Frankie said it's 41,000 feet right now, so it's
okay.
It's definitely getting its act together. It's got some hail developing. We'll just have to watch this.
Okay, sounds good.
Really, that's the only concerning storm I see in terms of a tornado threat. All these others are just wind. So.
Sorry, I had somebody in my chat that was causing problems. Hopefully we can get them banned and out of the chat. I don't have time for that. Yeah, just kind of adding to what Blaze is talking about. We kind of have like a broken segment here down in southwest Arkansas. There's not a whole lot going on. Really, the bulk of this is in northwest, west central, north central Arkansas. I know it's noisy, guys, a lot of lightning. The strongest storms, though, are certainly there in Madison, southeastern Carroll, and then soon to be likely Boone and Newton counties, Blaze. And along with the storm there in northern Franklin, too. There's not as much lightning with that, but it's still noisy, a lot of rainfall. People asking where, guys, this is the Arkansas Weather Network, so we cover Arkansas weather, and we're talking about Arkansas here tonight. A lot of questions too about other parts of the country in Indiana and St. Louis. They unfortunately had a lot of tornadoes up there today, but we're not covering that area, and we don't cover that area.
And we're gonna just gonna go ahead and give everybody kind of an early heads up. Danville area, again, broad rotation, not enough to issue a tornado warning, but there is just the signature look of this. I just don't like that, Zach. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's just, to me, it looks like this storm is, it's like it's trying to organize, but it's not able to, I don't know, it just looks small. There's a lot of lightning there. You can see the lightning popping up on the screen, but folks, this is moving into Yell County here, southwest of Danville on Highway, what is that, 28? Is that 28?
Yeah.
Through Blue Ball, oh my gosh, Chalibet Springs, I don't know how to say that. The Shark Community. What even is that? Shark? What? Macedonia, and then up to Danville. We most of us from the area know where Danville is, so we'll keep a close eye on that storm as it moves through Yell County here soon. Yell County is under a tornado watch until 4 a.m., along with many other counties in western Arkansas and parts of northern Arkansas.
Just had a storm report pop up from that storm that rolled through Mountainburg of trees down on Highway 71.
Okay, that storm had a lot of wind with it. That honestly is not surprising. I felt like that storm was pretty wild there for a little bit. Hillary, you're good in Van Buren. There's nothing in Van Buren now. This is moving off to the east away from you.
Man, the Boeing signature on this storm from
Yeah.
Marble, Kingston, Weathers, Red Star, man, that is going to be some very intense winds heading towards Osage, Compton, Ponca,
Whew.
Jasper. I mean,
That gum.
is,
Yeah, no, I
that
didn't.
is ranking right now.
Yeah, so folks, what we're looking at here, the winds here east of Huntsville, it's moving east into parts of northern Newton, southeastern Carroll, and eventually probably a large chunk of Boone County, winds of 60 plus. We'll just say, Blaze, I feel like that's a conservative bet at this point. 60 plus is very possible with the storms that are moving out of the Huntsville area.
We get a considerable tag on this
Yeah.
if it keeps up, honestly.
Yeah, so this is going to continue moving off to the east. Jasper. Kingston. Loy, it's over you now. It's probably nice and windy. Boxley, Beechwood, Ponca, eventually into Mount Sherm to Compton before track and snow. Before Compton's going to be in this. Irby, the Basin, Dogpatch, and Pruitt. So strong wind gust, very, very likely. 60 mile per hour plus is possible with the storms moving into northern Newton and southern Boone and southeastern Carroll County.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be our strongest storm we've got right now.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, I know there's some strong winds around the Ozark area, up towards Yale, and but guys, again, we're not seeing that signature bow look as what we're seeing towards the Marble, Kingston, Weathers, and so that's intense wind. So, I mean.
Yeah, this is really the only show in town as far as warnings go from Clarksville up to Harrison, these storms that are moving off to the east. Folks, I'm going to address this one more time with everybody. A lot of people asking, can we go to bed in fill in the blank community or city? I'm going to bed here in a few minutes because I have to be up very early to take over the shift from James and Blaze in the morning. But we are going to be here all night with you to cover storms if need be. So if you want to go to sleep, go to sleep. And if you get a warning on your phone, if your phone wakes you up and you're concerned, you can hop on here and join us back, and we'll go over whatever it might be with you. There's no reason to stay up all night and kill yourself trying to watch this and panic about it, because we'll be here to cover it and take care of you. So, Blaze, I'm running out of steam, brother. I'm going to be up in a few hours.
Yeah. So the NWS is somebody asked about this storm that is rotating.
Which one?
It's going to be the Scott and Yell County one.
Okay.
Just waiting on the NWS to respond on that. So again, the NWS is watching the storm. It looks pretty broad rotation from the
Yes.
Little Rock radar site. but it's enough that there is a little bit of concern there. So we'll just see what the National Weather Service does. But I mean, if it tightens up anymore, I would not be surprised we get a warning on this, honestly.
Yeah, I saw that.
Just looking at what I'm seeing.
Looks like they're referencing that potential right now. So we'll know something a little bit more about that soon. I'm sure the National Weather Service in Little Rock will look into that for us and see what they think. But no tornado warnings as of 2:22 a.m. Not anticipating a widespread, significant another round of storms in Fort Smith at Van Buren, Northwest Arkansas right now. Everything's clear for the moment outside of some rain and thunder. The worst of it is to your east in the areas that I just mentioned.
Yeah, you're still getting questions about can we sleep? Can we sleep?
Yeah.
You can.
I know that people worry about it, but I really just want people to know that they can sleep, and if they get woke up by a storm, we'll probably be here. If it's significant, we're going to be here covering live if it's significant life-threatening weather. If it's just rain and thunder, we might not be here, but there's no need for us to be here at that point. But
somebody asking about rotation up on this Ponca storm. Guys, I don't see any rotation with this.
This is a wind bag, brother. This is a wind bag.
Yeah.
This is
we've got... Yeah, there's no rotation with any of this. Again, the storm that we are watching for the potential of very broad rotation is this one near the Danville area.
Yeah.
So that's...
Yeah, we're watching that storm closely. It looks like it's struggling.
It's trying to curl up.
Yeah, it's trying. It's on the struggle bus, but it's trying. Got some people asking about Hot Springs. Don't really see anything in Hot Springs right now. The activity to your west is just showers. So nothing of too significant note for now in that area in Garland County. Cassandra, I do not see a second big storm coming for Kibler right now. Everything is pretty much shifting off to the east. Blaze, I think I'm about to hand this off to you, brother.
Okay.
I'm pretty comfortable with how things have trended. Have to keep an eye on there on, Carroll and Newton and Boone counties for the next little bit. But I think James is going to be joining you here in the next few hours, 3:30, 4 o'clock. So, folks, I thank you so much for watching the Arkansas Weather Network tonight. Blaze Thomas here, meteorologist Blaze Thomas, is going to stay with you. I'm going to probably go to sleep and get some rest. I have to be up and back here at the desk in the morning around 7:30. So if for some reason you're still awake, I'll see you then. But if you wake up in the morning and you want to get a check-in on the weather, one of us will probably be here if we have significant severe weather ongoing. Of course, if we don't, we won't be. But thank you so much for watching, and sleep good tonight and take care of yourself. Blaze, if you need anything, you can call me, okay?
Sounds good.
Thanks, brother.
All right. Thank you. Good job tonight. All right, guys. So we're continuing to watch these areas. We're going to bring this. There we go. All right. So again, we've got several severe thunderstorm warnings across the area. We're getting some updates right now on those. There's several still here. Looks like 6 active severe thunderstorm warnings on the board. So, and again, want to reiterate the fact that there is give me 1 second here as I pull this full screen here. There is very strong wind signals that we're seeing near the Newton County area. Let's see. Okay. New severe thunderstorm warning that we just got. And we'll show that here in just a second. But looking at this, guys, this is where your strongest wind gusts are going to be. And I feel like this is probably the strongest storm that we've got on radar right now. So we're continuing to watch this. I will highlight this area right here. So you see those winds, those are out winds. Basically, there's a lot of wind gust heading towards the Green Forest area. This is also going to be impacting Harrison. So again, this is an early heads up to the Harrison area. Not seeing any signs of rotation, but you can see those winds. That is going to be very strong wind gust. It's going to be quick, but it's enough that it could do some damage. And so that's why we are letting you know right now. This is an early heads up on this storm. So we've got this severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for this area, Newton County. And then also, as we look towards the south here, this storm's still strong, but it does have a little bit of bow to it. So I wouldn't be surprised if there is some outbound winds right here. But for the most part, this looks a little bit weaker than this particular storm right here. I think we're going to have some reports of wind damage, and it's going to be towards the Boone County area. So we're continuing to track this. If you're just joining us, I'm meteorologist Blaze Thomas, joined with Frankie Shepard. He's our producer. And so we are watching things very closely here, and it looks like we've got a new tornado warning. We have a new tornado warning that is in effect, and this is going to be for that storm that we were tracking. And I do want to let you know that Russellville is in the polygon, so let's dive into this right now. Again, we've got an active severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect, but also a new tornado warning. So it's going to be for this storm. We've been watching it very closely. Want to give you a heads up. We've been talking about the storm for the last 30 to 45 minutes, letting you know. And now this has went warned. It's got a little bit of an inflow notch, and that's something we're going to have to continue to watch. So you see, I think there's some inflow coming into the storm. Now, the areas that need to be taking their tornado precautions, if we zoom in here, we're seeing some areas like Bluffton, Pleasant Hill, Wing, Rover. These areas need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately. As we move towards the east, we're seeing areas like Danville. That's a very populated area. Plainview, Ola. Now, I know there's people in Russellville, and I know their phones are going off. Yes, Russellville is in the warning. So you need to be taking your tornado precautions. So Russellville down to Dardanelle, Pottsville, you're technically not in this warning right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if this gets extended. And then Atkins, you're not as well. Morrilton, you're not. But really want to take a look at the storm because we've been watching the storm. It's been rotating for the last 30 minutes or so. It has been weak at different times, but let's look at the velocity. Yeah, there's rotation right there. It's defined. You can see it right there. You've got winds going towards the radar side and winds going away. There's your couplet. So if there's going to be a tornado, if we zoom in specifically, it's going to be right here, and we can go very in depth with our roads as well as showing you kind of these areas. So just to the north of Bluffton, this is going to be where the area of circulation is. So if you know anyone in these areas, they need to be taking their tornado precautions. We're continuing to watch this area very closely. Want to let you know, early heads up to anyone again near the Danville area, as well as Ola, Dardanelle, Pottsville, Russellville. Again, Pottsville not in this warning right now, but this rotation looks pretty strong. We've been watching this, and we've seen signs of it strengthening, weakening, strengthening, and now it is in the strengthening pattern right now. And so that's why we're going to continue to watch this storm very closely. Not seeing anything from the National Weather Service yet. No confirmation if this is on the ground at this time, so that's great news. We're continuing to watch things very closely here. Give me 1 second, guys.
Take a look at it from LZK.
Is it looking
Low
stronger?
rock radar. Yeah, you can see that area a little bit better on storm relative.
Yep, right there. Oh yeah, definitely. That's definitely a concern, guys. The rotation appears to be strengthening right now, and you can see that area of rotation right there. So this does, again, no confirmation if this is on the ground or not. And given that it is at night, it's going to make it real tricky to see this. You're going to have to rely on lightning. And according to what we're seeing, we're not really seeing any lightning with this storm, which is very interesting. One little strike out there in front. But again, anyone near the Bluffton area. Now, this is not Bluffton in Van Buren County. This is Bluffton in a different location. But this is for Yell County. Anyone in the Yell County area needs to be taking their tornado precautions immediately. Again, anyone near the Briggsville, Wing, Shark, these areas need to be taking their tornado precautions. Pleasant Hill. This is the strongest storm we have right now. We've got a tornado warning. Again, it's not a confirmed tornado. Does not mean it's on the ground right now, but it does have strong rotation. And again, we also want to reiterate the fact that we're watching these areas in northern Arkansas, north central Arkansas, near the Harrison area. So you may be tuning in from Harrison. There's going to be very strong winds heading towards the Harrison area, up towards the Berryville, I think for the most part, things are calming down there. But very strong winds there. You could see kind of the leading edge here heading right towards the Harrison area. So multiple things we got to watch right now on radar. Again, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning up to the north, and we've got a tornado warning towards the south. So this rotation is probably the strongest rotation we've seen all evening. Wouldn't you agree with that, Frankie? This looks pretty solid.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Just from pure radar standpoint.
Yeah, again, no confirmation, guys, if this is on the ground or not. We don't know. National Weather Service not advising this at this point, but continuing with a radar indicated. So, again, no confirmation if it's on the ground or not. Looks like the latest radar scan might be less defined as previous, so that's good news. But again, if you're joining us and you're joining in from potentially at Arkansas Tech at Russellville, yes, your phone's going off. Russellville's technically in the warning, but you got a little bit of lead time here. So we want to let you know you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately right now. So again, anyone joining us in the Russellville area, we're continuing to watch this because I know there's a population there, especially with the college. There's a lot of college kids. You need to be getting to your safe place immediately. This storm is kind of a far ways off, but it's close enough that you are in that warning polygon. Looking at the latest scan, it does look weaker. So that's great news. Still rotating. We can still see that to the north of Bluffton. So anyone in the Bluffton area, north of Bluffton, around the Briggsville, you can see some other towns kind of in this area that is going to be impacted by this storm. So Shark, Wing, Rover, these areas need to be taking their tornado precautions. Given a heads up, kind of moving towards the east here, we've got Danville. I know there's a lot of people in Danville. If you're in Danville, you need to be sheltering in place right now. Same thing with Plainview, Ola. These areas need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately. Don't hesitate. Don't wait. Again, no confirmation if it's on the ground or not. But again, you got to think it's nighttime. So it's going to, we're going to have to rely on lightning to see it. So looks like they're continuing this tornado warning right now. Continuing to say that it is radar indicated. So that's good news. That means they've not gotten any signs that they can see on radar that this is on the ground. So that's good, but that doesn't mean it's not on the ground. It could be on the ground. We just don't know. We don't have any reports of that. So, and looking at it from a velocity perspective, it does, I mean, it's still there. Definitely still got that rotation. You can see that. The area of circulation right there, you see the reds and the greens. That's what we call rotation, a couplet. But it does look less defined than what we saw previously. If we go back to kind of a previous scan here, yeah, that was very tight rotation. And so now it does appear to be weakening a little bit. But it's still there and it's still warned. And that's why we're going to continue to stay on the storm very closely. If we look at the Fort Smith radar site, just looking at the velocity again, still showing weak rotation. Same thing with Little Rock. Yeah, it's looking, I mean, it's still there, but it is a little bit on the weaker side. So that's good news. But again, anyone in the Danville, Plainview, Ola area, Dardanelle, Russellville needs to be taking their tornado precautions immediately. Again, we have no confirmation if this is on the ground or not, but you need to treat it as if it is. So I urge, if you're in this area, you're in this red polygon, you need to be taking your tornado precautions. Again, don't want to take anything away from our severe thunderstorms that we've got in northern Arkansas right now, because it's a very intense storm heading towards the Harrison area. I think it's right on the doorstep of Harrison. If we look at our radar here, yeah, very heavy rain moving towards the Harrison area. I think Newton County's getting a pretty strong storm right now. These are severe warned and potentially putting 60 miles per hour wind gust around these areas. So, and again, watching an isolated cell here near Bull Shoals. No warning on it right now, but I think there's probably some small hail developing. So this is what we've got. We've got 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in northern Arkansas. And then as we look towards central Arkansas, western Arkansas, we've got that tornado warning that's in effect. And if you're just joining us and you're in the Russellville area, you are in the warning. And so I urge that you take those tornado precautions immediately. Again, we don't have any confirmation if this is on the ground or not, but I want to say that there is 60 miles per hour wind gust in northern Arkansas right now, heading towards Harrison. This is going to be impacting Newton County. I think this continues and pushes more towards Searcy, Van Buren County. So early heads up to those areas. But again, we've got an active tornado warning that is in effect. Just the structure of this, it did kind of have a curl like it was trying to get some inflow. But given that there's some rain out ahead of it, I think that it might not be getting the full inflow that it needs to continue to maintain this as strong as it was. And I think that's why we're seeing it weaken, but still enough rotation to continue that tornado warning, and we can see that in effect. So it does look like rotation is weakening some, but it's still present, and it is enough to produce a tornado. And it could be producing a tornado. We don't know. We have no way of knowing that right now. One thing we can look at is debris, but again, we're not seeing any signs. Some may say, well, that's a debris ball. No, actually what that is that's not co-located to where the rotation is. So you can see that rotation is way off compared to what that area was showing. So I don't think that was signs of a debris ball. But looking at the shear, you could see there is some shear there, not as strong, not extreme, but it is moderate. So it's something we got to continue to watch. And again, that's why they issue that tornado warning. So looking at it overall, it does look weaker. So that's good news, but it's still spinning, still rotating. And that's why we're going to continue to stay on this storm. So again, if you're just joining us and you're in the Danville area, Dardanelle, Russellville, you need to be taking your tornado precautions. Plainview, same thing. Ola, Casa, same exact story. Atkins, you're technically not in this, but you need to be watching this storm very closely. Morrilton, Perry, same exact story, guys. Need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. So we're continuing to watch this. I thought that was a new alert, but it's not. Really, guys, again, we've got these severe thunderstorm warnings in northern Arkansas, and then we've got these tornado warnings or I should say tornado warnings. Tornado warning. It's just one, and it is for western Arkansas. So again, Danville, Plainview, Ola, Dardanelle, Russellville need to be in their safe place immediately. So again, we go back to the shear tracker here. Again, it doesn't look all that strong. So that's great news. Kind of want to ease your mind because I know there's probably a lot of storm anxiety. People may be freaking out. I get that. But please know that looking at this, the strongest part of this storm does, or what we were seeing earlier, it does look like it's weakening. And we can show you that because you can take a look. That's stronger rotation there when it was first issued. And then now it looks like it's weakening. Still there. I mean, it's still rotating, and we can see that, but it does look weaker. So that is that's good news. So really, anyone in the Danville area, you need to be in your safe place immediately. Don't hesitate. You need to get to your safe place, as well as Ola over towards the Dardanelle, Russellville. Again, Pottsville, not in this warning right now, but I cannot stress this enough. You may be like in Havana, you may be in some areas that are out of this polygon, but it's a safe idea, and it doesn't hurt to go ahead and take your tornado precautions just to be safe. But Danville, you need to be in your safe place. Plainview, Ola, same story. Dardanelle, storm, really, it's spinning, but it strengthens, it weakens, it strengthens, it weakens. I think it recycles some. But last scan that we're seeing right now, we're still seeing that rotation. You guys can see it. It's going to be just to the west of Danville. There it is. Wind's going towards the radar site. Wind's going away. And it is moving right towards the Danville area. So Danville, this is a heads up. You need to be in your safe place. Cannot say this enough. Cannot stress this enough. You need to be taking your tornado precautions. Same story. Plainview, exact same deal. Ola, same heads up. Also, Dardanelle, technically the storm is off towards your southwest, but you need to be watching this, as well as Russellville. You're technically in the polygon right now. So we're continuing to watch things very closely. Looks like, do we have a new warning? I think it's going to be just a continuation of the current warnings that we have right now, the severe thunderstorm. Let's see that. Do we have a new tornado warning? Nope. I think it's just telling me that they're continuing the tornado warning right now. So, which makes sense. I mean, the rotation, there's enough rotation there to continue it. So, let me double check that, make sure that that's not a new warning. Actually, nope. I don't know. That's not
continuation with the back end sheared off of it. So they trimmed it up a little bit.
Yep, continuing it for Perry, Pope, and Yell. I agree with that. I mean, the rotation, it's not as well defined as what it was previously, but it's still very strong, and it's something we continue to watch. Now, Danville, you need to be in your safe place. I cannot stress this enough. If you are watching me from Danville, you need to be taking cover right now. Plainview, same story. Ola, same exact story. Dardanelle up towards Russellville. Technically, Russellville's now been removed from that polygon, but I'll be honest with you guys. I think it's still a safe bet. You need to be in your safe place just to be safe in the Russellville area. So this really is one of the strongest storms we're tracking right now. And it does have the strongest rotation we've seen all evening. Maybe not now. It looks more broad. But we're watching things very closely. Don't want to take anything away from these storms in northern Arkansas. I want to go back to them because I know there's people wondering about it. Very intense storm heading towards the Harrison area. I think there's 60 miles per hour wind gust with this. I think there could be some power outages heading towards the Boone County area. This is also impacting Newton County, and then this is starting to move towards Searcy County, Van Buren County, seeing some very heavy rain. So the line overall in northern Arkansas does look weaker to me, so that's good news. But we need to continue to watch this velocity scan. You can see, not going to get a very good scan on this at all, but you can see that there is some pretty strong winds heading towards the Harrison area. Now, if we move back, you can really kind of identify where our strongest storms are. There's one area I'm noticing. I want to get a double check on this. Frankie, are you seeing something? Let me double check this, but I'm seeing something. It may just be a bad radar read. Are you seeing anything near the Paris area? Are you seeing anything for Fort Smith radar on that?
Let me double check on this.
It may just be a bad radar read, but it does look like there might be some broad rotation there. Maybe starting to spin just a little bit. It's not much, but okay. So here's what the National Weather Service is advising. They did say that the rotation has decreased considerably, and we've seen that in recent scans. So that's good news, guys, for anyone out there that is in the middle of this warning. They did say they're continuing to monitor, but may consider canceling this tornado warning soon. So that is good news, guys. Hopefully that kind of eases your mind, calms your fears a little bit. Yeah, I agree with that. It looks way less defined. It was very strong earlier, and so it might be cycling just a little bit here. That does look a little bit tighter to me right there. That's heading towards the Danville area. Still fairly broad, but there is a little bit of a tightness taking place there. So something we're going to continue to watch. Again, the National Weather Service is talking about maybe canceling it. With that latest scan, I don't know that they really would. But the previous scans, I definitely could see them canceling. Again, severe thunderstorm warnings to the north, 60 miles per hour wind gust. We're watching those areas very closely. We're not seeing any rotation right now with any of those storms in northern Arkansas, so that's great news. Really, the one storm we've got that is rotating is this tornado-warned storm that is going to the south of Russellville, heading directly towards the Danville area. So anyone in the Danville, Plainview, Ola area needs to be taking their tornado precautions. Guys, cannot stress this enough. You need to be in your safe place. Again, we don't have any confirmation if this is on the ground or not. We're not receiving any reports of anything like that, but it's something we need to continue to watch very closely, and we're going to continue to stay on this. So, again, just reiterating to the fact that Havana, you're technically not in this warning polygon. I think it's safe right now for your area, but please be aware that this could change at any time. Tornadoes can change directions. We know this, especially if they're on the ground. So, but again, not seeing any signs that this is on the ground at this time. Danville, you need to be taking your tornado precautions. Really cannot stress this enough. The Danville area needs to be in their safe place. We're just continuing to watch this. Yeah, that rotation is still there. You can see it. It's right there, and it's just going to be just to the west of Danville, right there. And specifically, if I close in a little bit more, it's right there, guys. So, again, if you're just joining us and you're like, well, I'm watching from Russellville. Well, technically, Russellville has been removed from the warning polygon, as well as, Dardanelle technically is still in it. But this storm, if it continues to hold track, is going to continue, and it's going to be moving towards the Atkins area. I also think on the next update, just kind of looking at the track over here, if we put this into motion and the way this is moving, yeah, this is getting more of a north track to it, northeast track. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Russellville go back in this if they continue with it. The National Weather Service did say that it was weakening, but looking at the latest scan, it does still have that rotation. We can see that, and it's going to be just to the southwest of Danville. So anyone in the Danville area needs to be taking their tornado precautions. Oh, snap. Do you see that, Frankie? That's tightening up a little bit.
I do.
That is definitely tighten up. So again, want to reiterate and stress, guys. Anyone in the Danville area needs to be taking their tornado precautions. This right here, they will not cancel a warning for. If anything, they're getting ready to extend it. This rotation does appear. It was previously looking like it was getting weaker, guys. This storm is not weakening. This storm is actually getting stronger now. I assume this storm is isolated. It's tapping into that environment. This is a concern. This is a storm I am getting a little bit more concerned about, especially given the fact of the environment. And because this is isolated, I cannot stress this enough. I've said this multiple times, but I want people to understand if you're in the Danville area, you need to be in your safe place right now. Do not go outside looking for this storm. It's nighttime. You're going to have to wait on lightning. There's not a lot of lightning with the storm. And so it's going to be really hard to see it. So your better bet and the safest bet is go inside and take cover. That, and let me stress this, if you don't have a safe place to take cover, I want to tell you, there are ways that you can save your life. Number one, go to the bathtub, grab the mattress off your bed and throw it on top of you in the bathtub. I know it can sound silly, guys, but it will save your life because if the ceiling collapses of your house, it's going to protect your head. That's the number one thing you want to do is protect your head. And so again, want to stress this. Again, we have no confirmation if this is on the ground or not, but this definitely looks like it's strengthening some. You could see that. It's very, very strong. Danville, again, we have no confirmation if this is on the ground, but this thing is, let's see, what do we got here? I believe they're going to continue. Yeah, definitely continue in tornado warning. That's what the National Weather Service advised. It says latest scan is showing signs of tightening rotation again. We'll hold off on canceling for now. Yes, 100% agree with that. It does look like maybe this newest scan might be just a little bit weaker, but overall, it is still very strong, and it is still something that we continue to watch. Let's look overall here at our shear indicator. Yeah, it's lighting up just south of Danville. So again, anyone in the Danville area needs to be taking their tornado precautions. Lone Pine, same story. Mickles, Kingston, you need to be in your safe place right now. I hope I'm saying these names right. We got Petty Jean over towards Centerville, Alpha, Ranger, more up here towards Mosley, Alberta, Ard, Old Neely, Hollow, Bend, Lakeview, Cottontown, these areas, some of these areas, if you're recognizing these towns, you need to be in your safe place. If you live here, you need to be in your safe place. Also, we've got Ola, like I said, Kingston, Plainview, Berta, Casa, Homewood, Applin. These areas are in the tornado warned storm. Again, got no confirmation if it's on the ground or not, but again, we are seeing a rotation there. It might not be as strong as what we saw previously because, again, that storm was really starting to tighten up. Now it looks like it may be weakening some, so that's good news. But again, these storms have strengthened, they've weakened, they've went back and forth, and just as you think it's starting to kind of weaken, it tightens up again. So we're continuing to watch things very closely here. Also, people saying I own a helmet. Absolutely. Guys, I apologize. I have not been looking at the chat. I've been focused strictly on radar, but I'm looking back at it here. Let's see. People saying places opening up for shelter. That's good news. If there's any community safe rooms that are in this area, they need to be opened up right now. If there is a tornado on the ground, it's going to be heading directly towards Danville. Like Danville is in the direct path of this. And this is all heading towards Lone Pine and Mickles. I really hope I'm saying these names right. If I'm not, I apologize, but you guys know the area. You know where I'm talking about. So Danville up towards Lone Pine, Alpha, you need to be in your safe place immediately. Still seeing that rotation. Still may not be as strong as what we previously saw, but it is still very strong, and it's something we got to continue to watch, and we will continue. Now, I know there's people tuning in from northern Arkansas, and I get that, and there is severe thunderstorm warnings right now. So let's look at that real quick. Don't want to take anything away from this storm, but I want to give everybody an update in northern Arkansas for areas that could be impacted with the storm. So if we look at radar here, so the particular strongest storm that we're tracking in northern Arkansas is right around the Harrison area or just east of Harrison. And I think it's impacting Boone County right now with very strong winds. Newton County also seeing very strong winds too. Really, guys, overall, just looking at what I'm seeing, it is a strong thunderstorm, but it does look like these storms may be weakening some of this line may be weakening. But regardless of that, you've still got these isolated cells. And again, here's a concern. Here's another isolated cell right here, just south of this current tornado warned storm. Something we got to watch. When these storms isolate like this, they can tap into that environment and they start to spin. So we're continuing to watch things very closely here. Let's look at the velocity scan. And right there, right around the Danville area, there continues to be more rotation here. So we're going to continue to stay on this. Don't want to take anything away again from northern Arkansas, but it does look like maybe this line of thunderstorms that is in northern Arkansas. Would you agree with this, Frankie? It does kind of look like it's weakening some.
Yeah, you're also getting a lot of just overall precip building around it, at least from LZK.
And that's playing a big factor, guys, in the instability levels. We're seeing a drop in instability because of this rain out ahead of it. Also got kind of a cap that's developed in front of it. And so that's helping to, I think, kind of, I don't want to say eliminate the severe weather threat, but lower it down for the time being in these storms. But still, very strong thunderstorms. I know in Harrison it's rocking right now. I know in Newton County it's probably rocking. Searcy, Van Buren County, same exact story. But overall, intensity level and looking what the strongest storm is, it's definitely going to be this tornado warned storm that's going to be to the south of Russellville. Now, I will say, looking at track, Conway County needs to be on an alert here, as well as Pope too. So, and you see Pope is in that severe thunderstorm warning, but the strongest storm is actually off towards the west. So Pope, Conway County, heads up on this storm. We need to continue to watch this. Also, the Morrilton area. So we're watching things very closely. Let's look back at the velocity here. Let's look back at the rotation. Rotation's still there, and it's pretty strong, and it's right around the Danville area. So anyone in these areas need to be taking their tornado precautions. We're monitoring the situation very closely here. So again, want to reiterate the fact, anyone in the Lone Pine area, Ranger, Alpha, Mount George, Ard, Prosperity, Alberta, Centerville, Petit Jean, guys, you need to be taking your tornado precautions. If you're camping out at Petit Jean, you really need to be keeping an eye on this storm, and you need to be getting to a safe place immediately. So no hesitation there. Frankie, are you seeing anything else on radar that I'm missing with any of these storms in northern Arkansas right now?
I'm not. Also been keeping an eye on the debris detector for our tornado warning, and nothing's popped.
Okay, good deal, good deal. All right, guys. So again, want to reiterate the fact, if you're just joining us, I'm meteorologist Blaise Thomas, joined with Storm Chaser and also our producer Frankie Shepard. We're tracking this tornado warned storm that is in effect for the Yell County area, and this storm has showed signs of strengthening, weakening here lately. It is kind of on a strengthening pattern right now for the Yell County area. So Danville, I have told you guys multiple times, you need to be in your safe place. This storm is right over Danville or just to the east of Danville now, moving towards Mickles. And then as we look towards Lone Pine, Ranger, Alpha, you guys need to be in your safe place. Again, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing these names, but you guys know these areas that are being impacted. We've got a new severe thunderstorm warning that does now include Baxter, Boone, Fulton, Izard, Marion, Newton, and Searcy. That's a big warning right there with 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So want to go back to this storm here. There it is. That's a big storm. And it's for the Harrison storm because this is very strong, still producing 60 miles per hour wind gust. And again, want to reiterate the fact of anyone in Piatt, Summit, Yellville, Bull Shoals, Gassville, Mountain Home, North Fork, Diamond City, you guys are in this storm. You're in the severe thunderstorm warning. 60 miles per hour wind or greater could be possible with this storm moving towards your direction. And then we got continuing with severe thunderstorm warnings off towards the west of this. And then we got this tornado warned storm. Again, no confirmation if it's on the ground. So that is good news, but it's nighttime. So it's going to be pretty tough for us to get reports other than there's damage. So, and you're also, if you're relying on lightning to see that, you're just not going to see it because there's really not much lightning with this. Maybe one strike. Look at that, 2 strikes. That's it. So the rotation looks a little bit on the weaker side. Still seeing that rotation now just to the east of Danville. We got to continue to watch this area very closely. So here's Danville. All right, here's Ola. And so we're watching things very closely. And then we've got Dardanelle, Russellville. Again, if you're just joining us from Russellville, you're not in the warning polygon. But Dardanelle, down towards Danville, Ola, Plainview. You guys are in this warning polygon, and we're going to continue to watch this. I'm seeing if the National Weather Service, let's see. Okay, so yeah. So National Weather Service is advising that they have a spotter on this storm that is in the Danville area, but there's not really any lightning with this. So because there's no lightning, they can't really see if it's on the ground or not. And again, that's what I'm telling you. If you go outside to look at this storm, you're not going to see it because, number one, there's not enough lightning to support it. Maybe one strike every few minutes. And that's not enough. You could have a tornado on the ground and you don't want to get hurt. So take your tornado precautions. Don't go outside to look for this storm. You need to be keeping an eye on this storm. Now, just to the east of Danville is the area of circulation that we're continuing to watch. So you can see right there, that's going to be the area that we've got to continue to watch for. Lone Pine, Ranger, Alpha, Centerville, Petty Jean. Frankie, I hear you're typing. You got something for me?
I just saw the spotter's name, and I was trying to see if there was an X report or something.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, there's nothing right now. They're with the Skywarn. The Skywarn's activated right now for the state. And so again, there was a spotter in the Danville area, but they could not see it. And it makes sense because there's really no lightning with this storm. Like 1 or 2 strikes. So if you're in Danville and you're like, well, I want to look at this storm, don't try it because we've got trained professional spotters that cannot see the storm because of the lightning. So please do not go outside, go inside, take your shelter, do what you need to. Looking at the newest scan, it does look weaker. I think looking at this, I would be safe to say that this storm does appear to be weakening. So that's great news. Still could be producing a tornado at any point in time. I want to stress that enough. But I am seeing signs. What this is continuing tornado warning for Perry, Pope, and Yale. So, and I agree with that. I think it needs to be continued. No reason to cancel it, but I'm just telling you guys right now, from what I'm seeing in my perspective, I think the rotation does appear to be weakening some. It's less defined. Here, that was more of a tight couplet. Now, it looks a little bit more messy, as I like to call it. So if we look here, we can actually look at our shear, and boy, that's still showing some pretty strong shear just to the southeast of Danville there. Yeah, it's still there. That rotation is still present. And so our system is highlighting this area right here. You can see where it goes green, and then it also goes kind of towards the brown. That would indicate strong rotation. So again, want to reiterate the fact that this could be dropping a tornado at any point in time. This is heading towards Lone Pine, Mickles, Alpha, Kingston. You need to be in your safe place immediately. So let's go back to velocity scan. And velocity. Not only is there the threat of a tornado with this storm, but it's also got some straight line winds too on the leading edge of it. You can see it right there heading towards the Kingston area. So I think we're going to start to get some damage reports, maybe some power outages. I'm looking to see if we've got any new reports or anything right now. Nope, nothing new at this time. So again, if you're just joining us and you're wondering what in the world's going on, we've got a tornado warning. It's not a confirmed tornado, but it's something we got to continue to watch. And we have seen signs that this has gotten stronger and weakened and stronger. And here lately on the latest scan, it does a little bit on the weaker side. So that's great news. But we're going to stay on the storm because we got a lot of people in the middle of the storm, and we want to make sure that we're bringing you the coverage and we keep you safe. So I'm just checking to see if we've got, you seeing any updates here? I think James Bryant's fixing to jump on here in just a moment. So I think we're fixing to have James Bryant jumping in here. Again, if you're just joining us, we've got a tornado warning. It is not a confirmed tornado, so that's great news. But there is a rotation, and it's enough to continue with this tornado warning. And Dardanelle is in the tornado warning. Here's some other cities. If we zoom in, here's Centerville, Mount George, Alpha, Lone Pine, Mickles. The area of circulation is going to be between Mickles and Kingston. It is east of Danville now. So I would say give it a few more minutes, and then Danville, I think it's safe to you can now leave your safe spot, but still be watching this storm very closely. Again, because the strongest part and where the rotation is going to be east of the Danville area. So Lone Pine, Mickles, down to Kingston, watching this area very close. That's going to be the area of circulation, which again, it does appear that this rotation is weakening. So that's good news. And we can see that on, definitely on velocity. If we look, there may be a hail core too trying to develop. So I can't rule out there being some hail for the Lone Pine area moving towards Alpha and then headed up towards Mount George. So not only do you have a tornado threat with this and also a straight line wind threat, but also you've got a hail threat. Pretty much all three categories this storm could produce. So there's that severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect. I don't want to take anything away from northern Arkansas. This does include Yellville, Bull Shoals, Mountain Home, North Fork. You guys are in that warning. I do also want to say that they canceled the severe thunderstorm warning for Newton over towards Clarksville. So now this is turning more into a heavy rain event for these areas, which is great news. The thing is, this storm is kind of all isolated by itself. It's got an environment that it can continue to tap into. So we're just going to have to watch this very closely. So again, just to the south of Russellville. Again, if you're in Russellville, you're watching this live coverage, you're not in the warning. You were previously, you're not anymore. But this does include Dardanelle. So Dardanelle needs to be taking their tornado precautions. If they continue this warning, it will include Pottsville up towards Atkins. So these areas, early heads up to Atkins, early heads up to the Pottsville area. So again, if you're just joining us, the area of rotation that we're continuing to track right now is going to be between Lone Pine and Kingston up towards Mickles. I think specifically Mickles. And guys, I really hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, please let me know. But these areas, I think that is where, if we're going to have a tornado, it's going to be right there, headed directly for Mickles. So right here is the area of circulation, and it's right over Mickles. So again, we're continuing to watch this tornado warning storm. It does not look anywhere near defined as what we had previously. So that is great news. I see less rotation on this. I think the storm may be weakening some. And so that is super good news right now. Yeah, we can see that still showing a shear marker just to the east of Danville. But again, I think now it's pretty much safe Danville to go to come out of your safe spot. But here's the area of rotation, right? Like I said, heading towards the Mickles area. Here's some towns. We got Lone Pine. We got Mickles. We got Kingston. Technically, Kingston's not in the warning polygon, but you need to be watching this storm. But here is the area of rotation right there. So we're continuing to watch things very closely. New update. It's still there. I mean, I can still see that rotation, but definitely still not as defined as what it previously was and when they issued that warning. So it might be strengthening just a little bit, but again, we're going to continue to stay on this and watch this particular storm. And I know there's people in the middle of this storm. So looking at it from the latest radar scan, it does look like it's weakening, guys. So that's good news. Still pretty strong, though, and we're going to continue to stay on this. So again, I apologize. I'm not looking at live chat right now, guys. I'm strictly looking at radar, but I will look at live chat here in just a few minutes because I know there's questions and comments and things. But I want people to understand that. Okay, yeah. So latest radar scan showing rotation decreasing again, according to the National Weather Service. Agree with that. And so someone asked, do you think it's cycling? It's a possibility. I will say, looking at this, and if we put this here into radar, there is some heavy rain. Whoa, that was weird. There is some heavy rain out ahead of it. And so we're going to have to watch to see if that interferes. But right now, it's pretty much free game with any kind of warm, humid air that it wants to tap into. And it's very warm out there right now. So I believe we've got James Bryant jumping on here.
Good morning.
James, you on?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, I got you.
All right, Blaze. Another late night tornado event.
Yes. And we haven't got any confirmation if this is on the ground or not. Looking at the latest scan, James, it does look like things are weakening. So that's good. But we saw it weakening earlier, and then things started really kind of tightening up again. So
Yeah, I want to go ahead and look at shear rate and just look at the last hour. maybe not super strong, but as we saw the other night at Willisville, it just kind of was rotating, was rotating, was rotating. Then it planted a tornado for 5 minutes. So that's very possible tonight. So, as you approach the intersection of Highway 247 and Highway 28, everybody that's in that region needs to seek shelter. And, we went over this yesterday, that there's tornadoes that occur in the middle of the night. Oftentimes, they don't last very long. So that's good. That's actually Centerville that sits at this intersection right here at 247 and 28. Blaze is right there. Yeah, there's our cities popping up. And thankfully, the rotation does look pretty broad, but if you're in Mount George or Centerville, we're going to want you to take your tornado precautions as soon as possible, just while this thing gets ready to pass you.
Yeah. Previously, what we were seeing, James, is the storm got stronger, then it weakened, and we've seen some cycling. Really, this has been the strongest rotation we've seen all evening. But here lately, it's just been kind of weakening, so that's good. I am watching one area. Now that you're kind of looking at that storm, I'm just kind of taking a look at overview of the state. There might be something we got to watch to the north of Fort Douglas. Maybe some broad rotation there. Nothing strong, but just something we got to keep an eye on. So.
Yeah, I'm just getting logged into the weather service.
Yeah, tornado watch has been extended east for Baxter, Cleburne, Conway, Faulkner, Garland, Perry, Stone, and Van Buren counties.
Frankie. Is that Frankie?
Yep.
Yes, sir, it is.
Good morning, Frankie.
Good morning.
Blaze, you've been up for at least a little while, and Frankie too. Do we expect renewed development as we go through the next couple of hours? I feel like we had kind of expected that to come out of Texas.
Yeah, Southern Arkansas, we're going to have to watch. Like, we're already starting to see a little bit of storms developing right around the Texarkana area. Nothing concerning right now, but yes, there will be another round that moves through. But for Southern Arkansas, guys, not North Central Arkansas, I don't think.
So it kind of looks like the storms west of Hot Springs just falling apart in the last hour. That's good news. Got a question. Is Russellville in the clear? I wouldn't say in the clear just yet, but we're almost there. This is not going towards Russellville. This is moving off towards the northeast. Looks like if it was to hold together, I think this would go towards Atkins and then into Conway County. However, guys, looks to me like the last few scans, we're just starting to slowly get a little weaker and weaker and weaker.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see what the National Weather Service is going to do. They talked about earlier canceling this, but then it started strengthening again, so they decided not to.
Yeah. And again, I mean, there's broad rotation, so you don't want to take any chances. This is again going to be close to Centerville. There in northern Yell County, is north of Ola. This is right along 28 and 247. But I'm at least encouraged that we're not seeing just very, very strong rotation. Lazarus says hearing sirens in Russellville. I think Russellville's okay. Petty Jean, different deal. Russellville's on the northern fringe of that tornado warning, Dardanelle too. But I really think this is towards the south. We have broad rotation near Mount George that's headed towards Centerville. So those couple of areas off towards the north, Dardanelle, Russellville, I think we're okay. Melissa asked about Conway. Conway, that's where I'm at. We're well to the east. Right now, we're fine, and I think we're going to be fine. It's another needle in a haystack type of night.
Yeah, it definitely, it still has that just overall structure, but it does look weaker to me. Still seeing some broad rotation on it though, on the leading edge.
Yeah, and
Does it
this
look like
tornado
it might
warning.
be? Yeah. Does
Do they?
does it look like it might be shifting to the northeast a little bit more? Do you see that?
Let's see if they plan on drawing up a new tornado warning. That'll tell us a lot on what the Weather Service thinks. I've got a lot of people asking what's happening in Dardanelle. Dardanelle's on the northern edge of the tornado warning. And really the area of rotation is off towards the southwest. You can be safe and go to a tornado safe spot. Really think you're on that fringe where you might get out of this without, you're dealing with rain, but the rotation probably is headed towards Hollow Bend after it passes through Centerville.
Somebody asking about, do sirens mean a tornado was spotted? No, that is not what that means. When there is a tornado warning, the sirens are sounded. It just kind of gives you an alert. But here's the thing. You cannot always rely on sirens, especially if you're inside, because you're not going to hear them. That's why you need to download our app or be alerted by your phone, because that's going to keep you safe. So. Still a pretty strong storm, though, just to the north of Cedarville. So I'm sitting here just waiting to see what the National Weather Service is going to do with this storm. But, technically that warning expires now. So.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to redraw it. Michael Keller, what's the app? Arkansas Weather Network is our app, available in the iOS and Google Play stores.
Yeah, I don't know, because
they're letting the warning expire. They're letting it go. Rebecca asks, "I'm stressed." It's okay. We got you. I don't think the tornado warning is about to expire, and I don't think we're going to see a renewed severe threat until maybe a couple hours with the stuff coming out of Texas. Stay safe, nerds.
Yep, it's gone.
All right, so the tornado warning has expired, which means we have no tornado warnings in the state. And Blaze, let me ask you this: did this stuff that was off to the west of Little Rock, did it ever rotate when it was west of Hot Springs and in Montgomery County?
Yeah, it did. We've been tracking some broad rotation on this specific storm as it moved, as it actually started into Arkansas. We started watching it.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Because there was actually, so there's looks like 2 or 3 thunderstorms that we were watching just south of the current warning, or the previous warning we had, and those storms had some broad rotation to them, but they just fell apart. I think, James, I think we got a cap in place, and I
Very
think
possible.
we're kind of losing our instability.
Very possible. So those of you in Russellville, Dardanelle, you're good to go. Shelby, back to bed. You're good to go. We are good to go.
Yeah, I think we're losing our instability a little bit. And I think, guys, we may start to see a trend down on these storms. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing right now. I mean, we still got a severe thunderstorm warning for northern Arkansas that does include like Mountain Home, Flippin, Yellville, Summit, Piatt, Zinc, Diamond City, Everton, over towards Norfolk. Those areas, keeping an eye on that. But really, it just kind of looks like things are starting to trend down a little bit.
Yeah, kind of looks like the next round is coming out of Texas.
Looks like it's in
and
northeast
so
Texas. Yeah.
looks like they're going to issue a tornado watch for this region right here, or expand a tornado watch. So this will be the next area to watch this morning, with storms that move towards the northeast, southwest Arkansas. Guys, I don't know how much future radar you've looked at today.
I
See if can
haven't
find
looked
the-
in a little while.
Let's see if I can load up the latest here. So that stuff's coming out of southwest Arkansas, and that is kind of the main show today. Kind of steals the show. Keeps the heaviest rain down there, and that's where the severe weather risk is today. Not a high threat. It's needle in a haystack type of day, and we got questions on when should we start paying attention later. Dylan, I mean, it's very possible that we don't have any more severe weather through Jonesboro, places like that. South Arkansas is really going to be the main threat going forward once this stuff up in North Arkansas begins to fall apart. So that is what's headed our way. That's kind of the next area to watch. Up in North Arkansas now, the only warning that we have is a severe thunderstorm warning for that includes Mountain Home, but Blaze, kind of looks like this thing's going to go north of Mountain Home and then into southern Missouri.
Yeah, I think it's going to be moving out of the area pretty quick. So people talking about they've extended the watch. Actually, we may have a. Okay, so Harrison. So kind of a extension of the severe thunderstorm warning that now has taken out Harrison, Bergman, Lead Hill, all that. Still got the warning for Mountain Home, but like James was talking about, the track of it takes the strongest storm, probably going to take it to the north of Mountain Home. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, guys, there was pretty. I mean, there was pretty strong winds that came through northern Arkansas earlier. And I think, looking at it, the Boeing near Newton County, I think there's probably some power outages up there. I haven't looked, but I'm fixing to. Unless you want to pull
go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up.
I'm surprised. There's gotta be some more out there than that. Just hasn't updated yet.
Sebastian County is the current leader in the clubhouse with over 1,000.
Yikes. But that makes sense. I mean, because those storms were really strong.
Kind of surprising. That line that came through Dallas last night looked the part. I thought we were going to wake up to seeing a really strong line pushing through here.
Well, we did for a while, and then it just I think we started losing our NC, and then it's just started falling apart.
All right, Blaze, I just knocked myself out of splash top.
Uh-oh.
So you could take control. I'm just going to respond to some questions. Kaylin says,
Okay.
Mountain Home in the clear. You actually have a severe thunderstorm just north of you. So just hang on. So we're looking at some high winds in that area. The storm that was tornado warned, guys, it continues to fall apart. So Dardanelle, Russellville, Cedarville, you're in the clear.
Are you back in?
I'm back in.
Okay.
Although I can't. Can you move the radar? What did I do?
I cannot. No.
I broke the radar.
At least we don't have a tornado warning. That's good.
All right, let me try this, see if it fixes it. There we go.
Nice.
So the severe thunderstorm warning is really, I think it's this area. I'm going to circle it. It's kind of embedded in an area of heavy rain. Is this right here? Whoa. Bull Shoals down to Summit. I think we've got some high winds that are embedded within that, and it's moving off towards the northeast. So we don't have a view for you from the Springfield radar, but yeah, just strong winds, heavy rain. Sometimes the lightning data can get to be overwhelming. Actually, lightning data is on, guys. It looks like there's been a big decrease in lightning with this
Yes.
activity.
Well, and that's the thing, like that tornado warning storm that we were tracking earlier, barely had any lightning with it, which was crazy. And that's why, like, there was some like spotters that was on that storm, but they couldn't see it because of the lightning. And so starting to hear thunder in the Mountain View area. That's what Miley says.
Frankie,
We've
are
got
you
people
still with us?
asking. Oh, what'd you say?
That I am. I'm about to probably hit the hay.
Yeah, man. Understand. I do want your thoughts real quick though on the day that was severe weather across our areas to our north and west. I'm sure you've seen videos. Um,
Yeah.
Maybe you're a little bit more dialed in than I was, but it looks like the tornado risk verified north and west of here.
It looked like it verified definitely down in Texas near Abilene. A couple local guys to us. Some of y'all might know Zach Hardcastle. He ventured down to Abilene, saw a tornado, and then several high-profile chasers along the warm front in Illinois up to into Indiana. Followed that PDS tornado, the tornado emergency, for quite a
Yeah,
while. So
yeah. That some of the videos I saw were not good. Did we hear of any fatalities from that area?
sadly, too, I think in Illinois.
Man, and I think that's the fourth fatal tornado of the last week, more or less. We had Michigan,
Yeah, no, you
Oklahoma.
had two different Oklahoma, Michigan, and then yeah, that'll be the fourth one.
Yeah, man, that's a tough start to this year because they've not been just a ton of tornadoes, but we have already seen several fatalities. So
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the tornado footage from last night up in Illinois and Indiana. And it's ridiculous.
I'd say show it, but we don't have permission to show it on this stream. But man, the good news is, I think today's severe weather risk is low. I'll show you what the Storm Prediction Center put out today as far as a tornado risk. They've got a 5% risk across southeast Arkansas. That is by far where the highest severe weather threat is today, is down in this part of the state. And it's really with this activity that's coming out of northeast Texas. That's what we're going to have to watch over these next few hours. And in fact, guys, the low level jet kind of weakens throughout the day. So I think your highest threat is between now and noon, and then that's it.
And then we're done.
Yeah. So, not a high threat. It's a needle in a haystack type of day. Just another question, is Russellville in the clear? Russellville is in the clear. In fact, most of you are in the clear. There's the tornado threat today. Here's the wind threat today, low in the southeast half of the state. I think this risk is going to be trimmed back. You see not much of a hail threat today. We're dealing with, model data has not been good this year so far. Would y'all agree? It's been pretty terrible.
It is definitely struggled, especially from the high res.
Yeah, I mean, I saw several different versions of this that just had storms. It had storms in central Arkansas as early as yesterday evening, and we haven't seen a drop of rain. Ashley asked, "Why is the tornado hatched for central?" So, guys, we haven't talked much about it with our audience. If you are familiar with SPC outlooks, a hatched risk was rare. It's about to be something that's not rare. I think we're going to see it all the time, especially if it's very warm, humid, and a tornado. Because that low level hatch to me just means your max intensity is EF2, and that's pretty common in the spring and winter. So I think we're about to see that be kind of almost every risk. We're just going to have a hatched tornado risk. Where you talk about a higher risk is when you start going to that second and third level of, would you call it being hatched?
I'm still trying to figure out what to call it. Sig 1, Sig 2, Sig 3, but when you're typing
Yeah,
it up, it just doesn't feel right coming off the fingers.
it's just too complicated to really go in depth. Is Mountain Home looking okay? I have 3 kids to wake up if it gets bad. Blaze, what do you think, man? Mountain Home in the clear?
Yeah, the strongest part is probably going to go to the north of Mountain Home. Just looking at what we're seeing right now, to me, guys, it just seems like these storms are weakening. Now, let's be honest here. Severe winds is 58 miles per hour or greater. So, you could have 55 miles per hour wind gust off this storm, but I just think overall that it's weakening.
Emma asked, what about Central Arkansas? Central Arkansas is really in good shape, too. All the activity has kind of weakened before it has gotten here. Now, there's more activity that's developing out in eastern Oklahoma. This is the stuff that's going to make it into Central Arkansas later. Much later.
Yeah.
And then I really think we're done after that. So here's all models are wrong. Some are useful. Here's how this one is useful. You see, it generally has the stuff that's coming up out of Texas. And it's probably got it too early. You see, it starts it in southwest Arkansas, but it moves it towards the east and northeast. Rains for a good bit of the day in central Arkansas, and then we finish with the rain late this afternoon. And the heaviest rain stays in South Arkansas. So that's generally what's expected today. The highest severe weather threat is going to be in southeast Arkansas in advance of that line. And that may be through early afternoon. But other than that, guys, it's Arkansas has really gotten out well here.
Looks like LZK canceled the severe thunderstorm warning for Baxter, Fulton, Izard, and Marion.
Yeah. So getting questions, what about me? Everybody's pretty good right now. We have no severe weather warnings in the state as of 3:29 a.m.
Everything's just weakening. And when I look at how much instability we have, guys, we have seen a significant drop in instability. I don't see anywhere that's over 1,000 Cape right now. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's one of my alarms. Will tornado watches go out for BB? I don't think so. Let me put that watch box on here. So the counties shaded in red here are under a tornado watch. That goes up into north central Arkansas. And that's through 5 a.m. Guys, honestly, I think they can let the watch go. This watch go.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we're done. Now, a new tornado watch is going to be drawn up probably for this area right here. That is what we're going to be watching later on this morning. This activity that's coming out of Texas. Let me put the radar on this. Blaze, it actually looks like the instability is going to increase kind of in this zone as moisture continues to get pulled north.
Yeah.
And so we'll need to watch. We'll need to watch anything that gets going out in front of this line. I don't see anything concerning right now, but as we get towards sunrise, we may have to deal with a few severe storms out of this line today. Was there any damage earlier with the Northwest Arkansas storms? What about Augusta? What about Adona? Perry County okay now? I'm just checking the box. Yes, yes, yes. Emily, Little Rock be in the clear? Little Rock is in the clear. Yeah. West Plains,
Didn't have many
Missouri.
reports, just a couple trees.
Yeah.
So in West Plains, right now it just looks like regular thunderstorms. Strong storm for sure off towards your west, but just regular storms. And Augusta in the clear. Frankie, have you been up all night?
Yep, I am, and I need to be up in about 4 hours, so I think I am going to bid farewell.
Yeah, as you should. Second shift has arrived. My son is camping in Bull Shoals. I'd hate to be outside right now, but I think he's okay. Mississippi County in the clear. It's gonna rain later. It'll storm, but that is it. The severe weather threat right now, pretty low. So, Blaze, almost time for us to take a break.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking because, I mean, things are really, I mean, there's nothing really happening. I mean, there's a few storms by Texarkana, but nothing that looks concerning right now. I'm getting a lot of people from like Searcy, Van Buren County. Guys, we're good. I don't see anything that concerns me at all. So,
Yeah, it's just, we got to watch this next wave that is coming out of Northeast Texas. And
yeah,
I'll look
is there
at
any? You go look at
there's a
rotation.
message skill discussion up. 40% chance of a tornado watch. Substantial uncertainty remains regarding the potential in this area, given the disorganized convection, which is basically thunderstorms. But if they start to see supercell development, they'll put out a watch. So,
Which means for the time being, guys, there's not much happening.
yeah, looks like we can rest easy. So,
Yeah.
someone tell me what people say about the center, Little Rock. Yeah, we're good to go. There is nothing in the state of Arkansas to worry about. Well, there's no severe weather warnings in the state of Arkansas as of 3:34 a.m. All of them have expired. Blaze went from tracking a line of storms and tornado warning to really nothing. Everything's just kind of fell apart.
Well, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact of like we're seeing a lot of capping taking place.
Yeah.
Looking at mesoanalysis data, we've got strong cap developing to our east. Yeah, it's
Backup
is that
alarm.
another alarm?
Yep.
Back up. I like it.
Blaze, I think I got up at about 2 and I checked the radar and I didn't see anything. So I was like, oh, I guess Blaze is doing okay.
So, it got
Blaze,
a
I
little
think
crazy at one point.
this line coming out of Oklahoma, I mean, you think it probably gets into Central Arkansas later?
Yeah, I think so. And it could have some severe thunderstorm warnings on it if things, trend upward. But I mean, the thing is, we got to have instability. And I really don't see much. There's a little bit in southern Arkansas right now, but
There's the nowcast for the next couple hours. So it moves this activity northeast. So, if you this is an AI driven model. It just takes what we have on radar right now and shows you where it could end up in a couple hours. Blaze, I don't know that this model really ever shows weakening. I think it's just not an assumption that it makes. But if everything holds together, it kind of just shows you where things are. So the current activity down in Texas, it's got it moving northeast, and then you're going to be wanting to watch probably this zone over the course of this morning. So Emily, Danville is in the clear. Yes, we are in the clear.
Yeah, I think things are things are just calming down out there, and that's great. That's great, guys.
Yeah.
So again, we haven't seen many questions of this in a while, but I just want to, restate the fact, like, you can sleep, you can go to sleep, just avoid getting warnings, That way it'll notify you. And the way to be notified, download our app, Arkansas Weather Network, from the iOS Google Play Store. You can also stream our live stream. And we're going to keep radar up through this whole entire event. Even though if we jump off here, you're going to still be able to see radar with music. So you're going to be able to keep an eye on what's happening in southern Arkansas. Trust me, we will jump on if things start getting crazy.
So right now, the entire state is in the clear. Everyone, there's no severe weather threat that currently exists across Arkansas. So we are going to take a little bit of a break. What we're going to do is we're going to leave radar up, and we'll be sitting here watching radar. And we're going to watch it for this stuff coming out of southwest Arkansas, coming into southwest Arkansas, and coming out of northeast Texas and southeast Oklahoma. It is an isolated severe weather threat this morning, which just means here and there. Not expecting widespread severe weather, but could we see it? Certainly possible. But that's what we're here for. So don't expect anyone to stay up all night, get those alerts set. Think by 5 a.m., we might see a couple of more storms. Blaze, I don't know about you. I don't know. You gonna try to take a little nap?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it, but I'm not sure.
I'm gonna try and do some reading since I'm up early.
Nice.
No sense in going back to bed now. So I'll be sitting here locked in on this radar, and something gets going, we will be back. I like putting our radar on in the background on YouTube, Blaze. It's soothing. It's nice.
Absolutely. Well, and
Gives
the
you peace of
music
mind.
too. I mean, the music, it's enough like you can sleep to it. And then when we jump on, then you can wake up.
Yeah. And I'll speak real quick to our app, Arkansas Weather Network. Our stream is embedded within the app. So, if you could check it and you could see exactly what we're watching. If we're watching a storm that concerns us, that's what you're seeing. Um, and if it's not concerning, a lot of times we'll just have radar up, which is what we'll be doing for probably at least the next hour to hour and a half. So,
Yep, we'll be watching it.
3:40 a.m. All right, Blaze, you take us back to just some radar, guys. If you've joined us this morning, Blaze, I wanted to point out, man, we had a very large audience. That when I joined, it was somewhere around 2,000 people. It's dropped to under 1,000 just because the threat is gone and it's 4 in the morning. But if you joined us, we appreciate you. Hey, download our app, like our pages. That's going to help us continue to reach people across Arkansas. I have a full-time job, so there's alarm number 3. I'll be headed to work at about 8 a.m. Zach will be back in as we track storms across South Arkansas later today. And really, this activity in Northeast Texas is what we're going to watch. So we're here all morning.
Yep. We'll be back, guys.